We're live, baby.
Excellent.
Did we get it at 4? Oh, we're a little early.
Maybe.
I think we're a little early.
Yeah, here we go.
Yes. See, you got your microphone back up again.
Sorry,
I was listening to music.
It seems a little darker, but it looks okay. I think it looks good.
I do too.
I probably need to get over there too, you guys. All right.
Did we do where the...
Hey, Frog Squatch, what's up?
To what?
To what?
I don't know.
I don't know what I was asking.
The latency.
The latency. There's always a little delay. How's everybody doing out there? How does it sound? Does it sound all right, y'all?
What's up, guys? Yeah,
Doing
good.
good.
If I look a little flush, I just got done washing my car, which is a kind of a rare thing. It's something I do like maybe twice a year, unless something happens and I happen to drive through a lot of mud. I just don't wash my car that often. So I spent all that time washing it, and then I realized my car is still a piece of garbage. Need a new one, folks. Right? A little echoey. Huh. Well, let's see what we can do about that. Probably nothing. Oh, man. All right. Let's see here. Keep them occupied while I check the audio. Yeah, he's saying I'm echoing too. We'll figure it out. Probably. Let's see. Let's see here. Saying we're getting some reverb. Mine's turned off.
I hope everybody's doing good out there. Just setting things up now. What time is it? 4:01? Yeah.
See how that sounds.
If you could watch 2 against 2 UFC fight, who would you choose? Boy, that's a good one. Oh, no. 2 on 2. I'd probably say Diaz brothers versus...
Thanks, Leslie. Perfect.
I mean...
Y'all will never guess. It was a setting I didn't get right. So y'all will never guess that, right?
Yeah.
What did we get asked? 2 on 2.
If you could pick... If you could watch a 2 on 2 UFC fight, who would you choose? So I said for 2, I thought of the Diaz brothers. And then who would the other 2 be?
Against the Pettis brothers.
Yeah, there you go.
If we're going to do brothers on brothers.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And then with Lozon, those 2 fought. And they were a lot of MMA brothers, but that would be the ones that I would probably think of.
Apparently Matt Hughes' brother was a tough dude.
Mark was a bad man,
the Hughes brothers might be a little bit much.
Not now.
No.
The Diaz brothers now are still Hey, tell me you've seen, I need to send it to you. Have you seen the video of Mike Tyson working out, like throwing punches at the mitts and all?
No.
Okay, dude, we're going to have to check that stuff out. It's pretty awesome.
All right. Looks like everything is
We got it fixed. Awesome.
Good.
We got him from Scotland. Look at all of
Scotland
this.
coming here. Hello, Scotland.
What is going on, y'all?
I mean, as you could tell, this is going to be very informal, much like the last live stream we did. We're going to be trying to talk about some of the stuff we covered during the month of April, as well as, just taking questions from y'all. Once again, thank you so much for being here. We're glad to be doing this. We're glad that so many people show up and are enjoying the show. So to start off, I guess, what are some of the things we covered in the month of April? We covered
Georgia. We
That's
talked
right.
about Georgia.
Yeah,
We talked about Nevada. We talked about dwarves
that's
in
right.
North America.
In North America, I got lots of emails about that episode in particular. A lot of people, they were aware of some of the giant stories, but were not aware of the dwarfs. And I was the same way years ago when I found that out. And like I said, Fritz Zimmerman, he's got an amazing, more than one book on stuff just like that, like the giants, the giant mounds, the dwarven graves, the like henges and things that they found. And even in South America, I know that in America Before, the most recent book by Graham Hancock, he's talking about how through the deforestation, the clearing of the rainforest to grow things, that they've actually found henges and things like that, which reveal much, this was all supposed to be no one here, and it's turning out that that's not.
Yes.
And they've actually uncovered some giants down there as well. So it makes you wonder, were they everywhere? I don't know. Very interesting.
I'm curious as to the relationship between the giants and the dwarves.
Right, because
because it seems like the way they were buried and the way like they lived together.
they were together.
And I'm just very curious about that whole entire relationship.
I am too. Were they pals? Or like I said, did the giants like take dwarves as their wives, like a harem or something?
Yeah.
Or as slaves, perhaps? But there's graves where there's giants, then normal sized people and dwarves all together coexisting in whatever type of civilization this was.
I think back to Game of Thrones. Like the giants are handy to have. Remember whenever he's like hammering stuff down?
Yeah.
Those giants are handy to have around.
Those were, that's like way bigger than what we're talking about. We're talking about like 9-footers.
Yeah, those are monsters.
25
everybody
footers.
in here.
Yeah, man. Hey, what's
Scotland?
up, Rory?
What's up,
Rory
Rory?
from Ireland. He did some artwork for us way back in the day. I want to say like when we first started,
Fiona's with him.
And it was an
There's
amazing
trouble.
It was an amazing photograph of like a farmer being abducted. He was standing by his tractor, and it was really cool. I love artists. I envious of them. I wish I knew how they did that kind of stuff.
Lord.
And then I think a couple months ago, his girlfriend reached out and wanted to give him a shout out.
Yeah, it was
for
his birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I remember that. So that's cool.
Look at all of y'all are up in the UK. It's right before bed. One of them was over here. Where's it at? New Zealand. Dave in New Zealand. It's like 9 a.m. He says 4 o'clock seems to be like the perfect
That's what I'm
time
saying. That's why
to
we did
kill
it
it
for
right
him.
here. Yeah,
Right. His girlfriend's Fiona. Yes. Hello, Fiona.
Grand Forks. All of y'all from Detroit, North Dakota, Northern California. Y'all have got.
Man, see? It's coming in
Look,
fast
look,
and furious already.
I want to go on these places. I want to go hiking and hunting up there in these places.
Hiking, man. Hiking is something we've been doing a lot lately because of the quarantine. I'm starting to get into it.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh, what's up?
Listening from Oman. Really? Oh, man. Wow. Y'all are from Wisconsin, New Mexico.
Man.
What? Maybe the dwarves control the giants.
It's possible.
That is no joke.
Yeah, maybe
That's why little, like, the joke is always like short girls are always so mean because they're closer to hell.
I've never heard that, folks. I don't know what he's talking about.
No?
Any short
This
people
thing
out
on?
there, email to Cam.
Is this thing on? Let's see. What else did we discuss?
I know on the last live stream, a lot of people wanted to have Luke come on, and there's probably no one more in greater depression right now than poor little Luke. Luke, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. We'll get you on in a future episode. It just so happened that there was something going on today. My wife's friend's daughter is a senior in high school. She's graduating, and because of the lockdown, wasn't able to have her graduation. So they're having like a little party for her. And because of that, I had to run the kids over to my mom's house. Hi, Mom. Thanks for watching the kids. So we could do the live stream, because if Luke comes on and does a 5-minute monster review for everybody, and then he's got you got to leave, then he's going to be running amok, and there's no telling what he'll get into. So in a future time, when my wife can come to studio with Luke, we'll get him on, and he can jibber jabber about whatever monster he's into.
We'll have him do a kaiju review.
I've been trying, like I said, I've been working on his YouTube video, his own channel. It's called Luke's Likes, and we've been working on that. We'll probably be launching that pretty soon. I know a lot of people wanted to see him, but Luke's doing good. Twins are doing good. Their birthday's coming up, May 18th.
Lord, yeah.
Can you believe they're going to be 13?
No, I can't.
Where does time go? All right, let's check out some. Oh, yep, my mom's texting now. She says Luke's here crying. Okay? Tell him he'll get to come on the next one. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Greetings from Four Corners, New Mexico. That's a cool place.
I have a pile of stuff I need to thank everybody for. First and foremost, if y'all remember, it's probably been a couple years ago that we talked about a young girl named Zoe. And Zoe was battling cancer. And first of all, all right, I'm not going to go any further because it'll make me real sad. But anyway, she's doing good. Everything's great. We talked to her family. And her dad, Joe, sends us updates and keeps us in the loop of the whole thing, and it's great. So we got something the other day, and I've got it here. I just didn't have time to change. So.
Oh, yeah, I got one, too. Pretty cool.
This, Zoe, if you're watching, thank you so very much
thank you,
for
Zoe.
this shirt. This is a great shirt, and this is another awesome part of the shirt. I sure hope I haven't got the color stuff set wrong and then they can't see all this. But so here's this one, and we love it. And of course, I'm going to be sporting it.
Yeah, we'll be wearing it around town. Absolutely.
And we got more goodies. So
what else did we get? Oh, I remember this. Yeah, he showed me this the other day.
Started reading the first one. Folks, this is a fictional series about Charles Fort, for which Fortean came from.
Yeah.
Right here. And I don't want to, Jeff and Michelle, I don't want to pronounce the last name. I know I'm going to destroy it, but I believe it's our Canadian brethren, and they wrote this and sent these down here to us, and they are, dude, I'm like almost halfway through the first book, and it's awesome. I enjoy this kind of fictional stuff, and I enjoy like the steampunk ideas of it. I know you do
absolutely
too.
Love
so
it. Yeah.
That's another thing. Thank y'all so very, very much. Look, I'm not done. There's more stuff.
More stuff.
Here is, I forgot about this one too, which is awesome. Folks, if y'all want to check out more artwork, Erie Eric sent us this, and he's got some wild artwork too on Instagram, and I love it. But he does a bunch of stuff. This is one of his sketchbooks, and it's got all kinds of stuff that has to do with like.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
See, and he does. Look, I love it. All of these things: Dogman, Yeti. Look, there's the Chupacabra, Mothman. I mean, he just keeps cranking them out. So he's got all kinds of awesome stuff. This might be the best here.
Let's see.
Erie Eric, the Bob Ross of Bigfoot. There you go, folks. So
you know how Luke always has those Godzilla toys and things like that? He actually has a Bob Ross toy.
Does he really?
Oh, yeah. And Luke is really into Pink Floyd lately.
Look, Zoe's watching. Look.
Oh, awesome.
Hello.
Hey, Zoe.
We love you, and we're glad you're doing good.
Awesome.
Look, I'm a Bob Ross junkie, so I like the fact that Luke... Did you know there is a guy, before I go any further, there's a guy on YouTube that is a master of the Bob Ross method, and he has started teaching it as well on the Bob Ross YouTube channel.
That's awesome.
So,
I like the other guy, the old German guy, William Alexander. Remember? He was also like Bob Ross on the...
Yep.
And he would have his special painting knife.
But he was... Fire it in there! Fire it!
Yeah, he's
like
mad.
a spicy German.
I think that's why I liked it.
Bob Ross was kind of cooled down. What is it, Fred G? What do you think of alien disclosure for the government? I think they're telling us right now with releasing those videos at this point in time.
Because those videos came out like in 2017, but they're just now like officially saying, yeah, we don't know what this is.
Alfredo, I'll tell you, Mr. Ramirez, this is from the podcast and TV series called Meat Eater. So you can go on their website and find all this. That's what this is. This is the
like a gnome.
The gnome, if y'all can see it, probably. But he's with his. It's supposed to be a longbow, but it's really not. It's a recurve, as you can tell. And he's packing out a unicorn head. So yeah, I'm a fan. So that's the reason I got it.
Right. So back to the disclosure. Why do you think that the Pentagon and stuff is just now disclosing that?
I think it's timing. I think it's the best thing to, as fast as our news feed changes, that you can release something like this and then it gets smothered by something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that it's one of those, it's easier to say, oh, we told you, you don't remember?
Yeah.
You didn't hear about the merger? You don't remember about all of this? And
I
the next
figured-
thing you know.
I figured with like all the Corona stuff in the news, now's a good time to release it so it gets covered up.
That's
and
it.
then they can say, years from now, look, we told y'all.
Yeah.
We admitted that we didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I think those videos are awesome. I think those videos are, like we talked about so many times, when pilots claim that they see these things. They got them videoed. And what was the pilot, David Fravor, that was on with Joe? He even talked about how he knows lots of other pilots that have sightings.
Yep.
This thing's been going on. I mean, I remember my Uncle Nick, who flew P-51 Mustangs in World War II. He told me that he saw something strange. And that was all the way back, what did they call them? Foo Fighters back then? So, I mean, personal people I've known who were pilots claim that they saw stuff. There's also people wanting to know how bad the coronavirus is affecting our town. And I think we've been pretty good. Now, that's one thing you have to consider. People that are in really populated areas, I feel like it's hitting the show, it's hitting their stores and town much more severe than it is here. We're pretty spread out. So the population of the town we live in, Weatherford,
I'm just posting this to all of our stuff.
there's only like 18,000 people. So like where my mother and father live, like their nearest neighbor is hundreds of yards away. And they don't even live in that remote of an area. There's other places where people live miles away from each other. So in our town or our county, how many has there been total? I don't think more than 35.
No, there's not even been that many.
And there's been no fatalities.
No fatalities. And nobody's even had to go to the hospital. Like it has been you
other
do
than
whatever it is, other than this fool. And you kind of quarantine at home. But I think there may have been a total of now, I could go back and look, but I want to say 20 or 24 cases, maybe.
Yeah, not that
total.
many.
Maybe not even that many, but yeah, I think that was about it.
Let's see here.
Now, let's see. What was I going to tell you that I had saved here? What we were going to talk about. Oh, right here. Back in okay, so I did that whole thing about the stuff in Georgia. I wasn't aware of this. Now, we all think of the skunk ape as something that takes place only in Florida, right? Like that's where
at least
that
the
name
South
comes from.
or
Yes.
the Everglades or at least I think of Louisiana too for whatever reason.
Anywhere
swampy.
Yeah, I'm with you. There was a flap of skunk ape sightings that took place back in like 2009, 2010 in Georgia, the southern part of Georgia in there. So it's one of those that I'm going to have to look into more about this, but what it sounds like is exactly what they talk about in Florida. So why couldn't there be, right? Like why couldn't it grow or they expand their territory from Florida? Of course. Oh, what do we got? We got something good?
Now it looks like they're starting to have audio issues again. They're saying that it's echoing. So I don't know what's different from the last time. Let's see here.
I bet that fixed it.
Maybe.
I don't know what setting changed.
Yeah, I have no idea. Andrew, we're trying to address the echo that you're hearing.
Try that.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea.
No, it flared up, but I think I just killed it.
Leslie says it sounds good. So maybe it's something with
I just killed it.
Andrew's setup. I don't know, or maybe Cam fixed it. Anyways, back to your story about skunk ape. Sorry.
Yeah. I think that it's first of all, the flap makes it feel like maybe it was they had new ones moved into the area. I don't know, but it is funny that now they have like Georgia has both. There's Bigfoot sightings in Georgia and skunk ape sightings in southern Georgia.
Right.
That might be the fine line. Like, I just wonder if there's a like they don't cross breed or don't even like hang out. Like you don't see like wolves and coyotes chilling. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't see skunk apes and Bigfoot hanging out with one another.
Yeah, maybe. Like we've been talking about recently, we're like with the tiger that was seen, and of course the popularity of Tiger King. And you talk about Mike Tyson with his pet tigers and other stuff. A certain part of me thinks that a lot of the sightings of the skunk ape could have been like released, like pet orangutans. Have you seen the video footage or the still photos, I'm sorry, by the woman, I can't think of her name off the top of my head, in Florida, in her like backyard or whatever. Something had been seen there and something had been going on. And some of the stills, I mean, it looks like an orangutan to me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, that's the old woman that took the photograph.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a game cam or whatever. It's been a
The
while.
one where it's crouched behind the palm fronds?
Yeah.
Okay, the story behind that photo, there's 2 photos that she took. Here's the story that I heard that goes behind it. The story behind that is she had been telling, I believe, some neighbors and some people that she had something was coming up into her backyard, and she'd been seeing it. It had been peeking through the windows, things along those lines. When it finally showed up where she could do it, she grabs, I believe, I can't remember if it's a cell phone or an actual camera. I believe it was just an actual camera. She had called the sheriff's department, said, something's here. You need to send some people out here.
Right.
She went into the backyard, took the first picture with it crouching. The second picture is it starting to stand. She took it when it stood up. It stood up, turned, and took off, and that was it. She had those 2 photos of it. When you look at those photos, if it's faked, it's somebody that did a really good job of looking like an orangutan in whatever it's got on. But it looks like what you would picture some sort of Bigfoot or skunk ape or something. That's what it would look like.
And then you've seen the video footage of the fella that was in the swamp somewhere, I don't remember where it looks like something's washing shells in the water, and it notices him and runs off. I mean, who was the other hunter years ago that had a video on YouTube? Like he has a YouTube hunting show. And they filmed something black moving.
Yeah, but it turned out I think that was a joke.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I think they were just messing around.
You couldn't see anything other than it was something black, right?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
But the videos of the one in the creek or whatever it is washing like shells and stuff, to me that looks pretty. I don't know what that is, but it didn't look human.
Yeah.
And then
I know what you're talking about. There's also one that looks like it was, what do they say it was? Catching a snake? Like it's down by the cypress trees, down by the roots and all that stuff?
That one. I don't know. What's going on here?
I'd have to pull it up to find it.
Let's see.
Yeah, so we've got now. Bigfoot probably thinks that we've given up on him since it's been so long since anybody's been in the woods looking.
Well, even with the show that we recently did with Nick Redfern, you were talking about the Bluff Creek Massacre. I don't know if anyone has taken the time to go in there and kind of research some of that stuff, but it just seems to me like this is too new of a thing. Like, how come we're just now hearing about it?
Yeah. I don't.
And also from the video that I watched.
And I showed you the photos.
So I'm saying I can't tell that that's really a dog print. Does it kind of look like a dog print? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like if you look at the clouds and it might look kind of like a turtle.
That's
right?
true.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Well, and it's like what I asked you. Why is there only one print? There's no prints leading up to that dog print, and none of them that it turned around.
Yeah. This guy's talking about Oliver the Humanzee. Man, I know that story. It's crazy. You've seen the pictures of the Humanzee?
Yes.
I know that the Russians long ago were trying to create like ape super soldiers.
Yeah.
And there's
I wonder how much
no
stuff
telling
the Russians and the Germans have tried to create out of people.
I'm sure we're doing it too.
Oh yeah.
I always think of like Island and Dr. Moreau, where there's got to be people that have tried splicing human beings' DNA with apes.
Yes.
To create super soldiers. That's creepy. Let's see what's going on here. Have you guys...
Haunted casinos. Fucci face. Yeah, I'm interested. Send some information. Email us. Heck yeah, I'm interested. What is this one? Pictures of Monkeys in the Wood by Ryan Taylor. Yeah. So forward the photos. Anything y'all have that's insanely crazy, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Yeah. Hey, look, there's Don from Denmark. What's up, buddy? Let's see. You got anything else on haunted casino? Oh, we just said that. Oh, Andrew wants to know, did you guys find any more sightings on stick men and shadow men?
Yes.
Yeah, we get people that email the show constantly with their own version. Not as many stick men sightings, but tons of shadow people.
That's true.
And that's like really common.
Oh, we have a surprise. I don't know if it's a surprise. We'll go ahead and tell you what we are thinking about doing. I I believe Kyle and I are going to start recording the podcast on video as well. Maybe not the full segment, but the intros and outros will look just like this. So it will come in. You'll be able to hear us tell the stuff. The thing will start. We'll do the whole deal. We'll go into the segment. It will probably go into a photo mix-up, or however it goes. And then it will roll back into the outro. Will be us coming back in on video and doing that. So we can kind of do both. I think it's going to be easier.
Something new.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing stuff the same old way for years. We've been doing it like 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to do something different. Spice it up. Makes it fun, right? You don't just eat the same thing every day. Some people do. Do that workout all the time. They just eat the same protein.
Like
I can't do that.
Grilled chicken.
Work out all the time or eat the same thing.
That's
not
true.
me.
Yeah, that's just
like,
not
I got to
me.
work out today washing the cars.
Yeah. I wish you'd have told me. I'd have brought mine over. You could have just really wore yourself out.
I think it's just me inventing things to do with the new pressure washer, really. I mean, it's a cool toy, and so you start inventing stuff to do with it. My father was the same way. He always was tinkering with stuff at the shop. I believe wholeheartedly he was inventing tasks that didn't need to be done, but just to do them, just to do it. My brother's pretty similar. He does the same thing. He's always working with something.
Always monkeying around with something. Can't
Always.
leave stuff alone. Yeah. In fact, I've got to do some wood flooring, and I called him, and I was like, all right, I need to do this, and this, and because I know he's done quite a bit of it, and all the remodel stuff they had. And he's like, you need these tools. And I'm like, just keep telling me how many tools I need.
I'll pressure wash the outside of your house, like the siding, the soffits, the eaves.
Has the boys got a hold of it yet?
Yeah, Caleb actually liked it.
Oh,
Jacob didn't have any concern. Luke likes it because Luke thinks it's like a flamethrower.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I used to like going to the car wash when I was a kid because the things.
Yeah, it's like a flamethrower. Yeah.
My mom was using it to clean out her gutters, but she was at the top of a ladder, and the power of the thing almost knocked her off. I was like, yeah, you better let me do that from here on out.
That's real funny. Vicente Garcia, any Bigfoot or Dogman sightings around South Texas? Matter of fact, yes. Not so much Bigfoot sightings. There's a few, but there's quite a few of these. I really can't nail it down to say that it's dogmen, but there's quite a few odd sightings of strange humanoids down in that part of Texas. Which is funny because it doesn't seem like they're seeing them out in the country as much as they are around small towns. Like it's, well, no surprise, there's not a lot of stuff, but it seems like they are down there.
It's probably because there's more people in the town, so there's eyes to see them, right? You know what I mean?
Well, and that, but there's probably more stuff going on. I mean, they don't want to just sit around out there and eat mesquite beans. They want to get down there and have a little fun. So that's probably what's going on with those. How many different species of Bigfoot are there, and do you think they're real or interdimensional?
There's a lot of different ones.
Man,
at least.
well, according to all the research, there's a lot of different species.
What do we have? Yeti, Almasty, Urine, what's the one? The Yowie, Sasquatch, of course.
The Yeren.
The Abominable Snowman.
The Orang Pendek.
Skunk Ape. The Grassman. Wood Ape. There's tons. I'm trying to think. I mean,
I'm going through them. Yeah, I'm like, are we... There, but see, we don't know if that's actual species or just names.
Yeah,
they could all be the same thing.
And definitely look different, just like we've talked about before. Like a white-tailed deer looks totally different here than one up in British Columbia. Even though they're the same animal, they look different.
Yeah.
I think it's something along the lines. Look, I have no idea we're talking about an alleged creature. I have no idea.
Yeah. What's going on here?
Do
George.
I know of any cryptids in Maryland?
Yes.
Yeah. Lon Strickler.
Yes.
Has a lot of sightings in Maryland and Pennsylvania. But yeah, Maryland, for sure. There's definitely cryptid sightings there. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But,
George said, does my father have a story about being bluff charged? It wasn't my dad, but it was another person. It was another guy working on the ranch about being bluff charged by something.
Bluff charged by...
Remember we talked about it where something come up out of the woods? And,
yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't that far from here.
Hey, what's up, Jared from Melbourne, Australia?
Woo, Eric. When you guys going to come arrow some elk in Colorado? As soon as we can get drawn. As soon as we get drawn, we get our tag, we'll be up there. BJJ, where do we train? Neanderthal Fight Company is where we train. It's here in town. So what did you get? Trying a Josh Barnett move on my professor. Left bicep and left pec. Was it the scarf hold that he caught the boogeyman Dean Lister with?
The original boogeyman.
The original.
By the way.
The one and only boogeyman Dean Lister. because that's how Barnett tapped him out. So, yeah.
They want to know about the Jersey Devil. We did an entire episode on the Jersey Devil. You'd have to go back a couple years. So right now, I don't know any of the stories off the top of my head. I know that there was a legend where a woman lived in a cabin or something. I don't remember. I don't know if she killed her children or did some kind of ritual, satanic ritual, and something with hooves and wings. I don't remember off the top of my head. We did a whole episode on it.
Grim said it was the Scarfold.
Yeah. See, I don't know.
It's a power move. That's what's so hard about it.
Let's see. What is this going on? Yeah, okay. So Joe Holtz here. He talks about when he was a kid in North Dakota when they were around campfires, things would throw rocks into him. Yeah, man, if you have a story like that, send it to the show. We would love to read the story. We having issues with the audio again?
I'm not having any issues with it.
So you were doing on the last month. You've done 2 states so far, and you're going to continue to keep going state by state throughout the whole U.S.
Yes.
So I'm sure we're going to get to your state at some point. This is a great thing. There's sightings of almost strange things in every state. So some states more than others. For whatever reason, like Pennsylvania, Ohio, those seem to be really hot spots. I know when it comes to ghosts and stuff, like Gettysburg is one of the most haunted places there is. Yeah,
there's a lot there. What's funny is people don't think that that there's a lot going on in their state or in their area, but when you start digging and really looking, there's a lot of these cryptid tales that almost fit the exact same tale. Like we've talked about the Bigfoot, all the Bigfoot stories, they may have different names, but it's all pretty much the same thing, and it's almost all universal across the United States of the same thing. So every state has something crazy cryptid going on in it, but almost every one of them has the same tale of a big hairy hominid. So that the whole thing is, kind of the way it works out. But you'd be surprised, because I have a pile of books in here on different states and all the stuff, and Cal and I keep rounding up more. So there's a lot from pretty much every state that we're going to be covering. So we recently had Nick Redfern on the show, and, we always talked about all the dozens and dozens of books that guy's written. Cam, if I was to ask you to pick one of your favorites, what is your favorite Nick Redfern book that you've read? There's a lot. You even have one in a different language that was given to you. I have one in German. Yeah. I would probably have to say the old stories that he wrote about the Men in Black. There you go. That's what I was going to say. His first book, The Real Men in Black. Yeah. Or like Body Snatchers in the Desert? I love those stories. I love that stories. I love that angle of what's going on. Of it's not so much. It's more like our government's involved in some things. I don't know. I just like it. I like the Men in Black story. I like all of his books because he does a great job. But that's one of them that I really enjoy. Is stuff like that. Yeah. What do you think about the secret base that's supposed to be in the mountain in Dulce, New Mexico? You think there's any truth to that? No, I really don't. I don't see how you could have something. It would have to be as secret as a ninja in order for you to not find it. That's like for people not, as many people are in and around that area. I mean, it's a cool story. Yeah. I just don't. Now, that's not saying maybe that there was a long time ago when there was less folks, but I don't know. I mean, I know that they've seen strange things flying around, but they're talking about a multi-leveled structure in the mountain, and one level is the level that only the extraterrestrials are allowed on. It's called like the Hall of Horrors or something. I don't remember. Remember they worked out some deal. So the aliens are giving us technology, and in exchange, the government is handing over human test subjects to the Greys. Yeah. I just think it's a really cool story, but I don't think it's true at all. Yeah. There's not at all. Where in certain conspiracies, like Christopher Garantano, when we had him on about like the Montauk Well, we have somebody here says that they used to work at Dulce Base and that Nightmare Alley does exist.
Well, I've heard the stories, but I just don't.
Well, send us some stories. Hook us up with it.
I mean, I've never.
Geek too.
They've never had any. I've never seen photographs of an entrance to the base. So how do we like Area 51 S4? I mean, we know how people get to work. They take a flight from Las Vegas. It lands there in Area 51. They're taken by like a school bus with blacked out windows to wherever they're working.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you can see it. This is a place. You can videotape. There's nothing like that with Dulce. It's just stories. You see a mountain, a plateau, a ridge. It's got some antennas on the top, cell phone tower.
My thing is this.
But that's it. I've never seen an entrance, anything. That's why I don't think it's real.
I would think you would want, if it's better to start the disinformation and let people's minds go crazy and believe that Dulce base and everything that goes on there is so creepy and terrifying that you're looking at one thing and it's kind of like, don't look over here. You know what I'm saying? Is it over things like that? Whoa. Hold on.
I mean, I realize it's underground.
Well, this one
says still have an entrance.
Beak Geek or whatnot says, yes, it's true. I used to go swimming with the woman that had tentacles instead of arms. That's a large claim. That's a large claim.
I don't believe that story either. Sorry.
Yeah. I would like to see, do you still know that person? You got pictures? I need to hear these tales of you swimming with the tentacle-armed lady. She sounds like a woman me and Kyle like.
Phil Snyder, that's another one. A fantastic story, where he got his fingers blown off, but for all I know, he cut him off messing with a circular saw in his backyard. I don't know that an extraterrestrial actually blew it off, killed the Green Beret, you know.
But I
know he was strangled to death with like piano wire. But I mean, he could have owed somebody a lot of money.
I do love that story, though.
Oh, I love that story.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Jordan's dad was killed allegedly because of gambling debts. Well, maybe Phil Schneider had a gambling problem. I don't know. I'd like to believe that there was a secret cave that they accidentally fell into when the Green Berets and the extraterrestrials were having a fight. Remember that one gray had something on its chest and it shot and blew his fingers off?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really cool story.
That is a really cool story.
I hope that's real. I hope that's a real story.
Me too.
I've been in lots of caverns, though, and cenotes. Never seen anything extraterrestrial.
No. I've never seen anything cool at all, like we've discussed. Well, except for that thing in the sky that I still don't know what the heck it was. A blowing sack? I have no idea. What else did we talk about? Now, we did get to talk to Nick about a lot of the crazy things going on around castles.
Yeah.
That...
Gloms, not glamis.
Yeah, gloms. Glamis is what I'm going to call it. Glamis.
And it's
I wonder if you have to cross over the Thames River to get...
Nevada, not Nevada.
Yeah, it's Nevada.
I apologize.
Glamis, and Thames. Genitals, teats.
What about, now that we're speaking, they're still writing about the Dulce base and underground. Do you believe, because I've heard this theory too, that there's like tunnels connecting throughout the entire United States, that the government can go from Area 51 all the way to Dulce to the Pentagon, all underground in some super fast light rail like the one Elon Musk is trying to build? Do you believe that? I mean, I know they have the capability of building large tunnels like that. We bought a book, and we talked to a fella. Do you remember years ago, we ordered some books about secret tunnels and stuff, and we actually were in communication. The guy lives like in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yep.
And I don't remember what the reason was we never had him on. So I know that they have these large tunneling devices, but this is apparently like they've had them for a long time. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. For some reason, I love those stories because I love the idea of hollow earth.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of flat earth.
I
like the idea of hollow earth. Man, I don't know. It would be, well, what is it like?
I don't think it's real.
Elon Musk wanting to build something.
He is building.
All that whole underground thing. I guess we're going to find out some more. But that's awesome. I would love to see like an underground, like maglev train that would just scoot where you could go from one side of the country to the other side of the country in like 45 minutes. Like, how awesome would that be?
That's the story, but I'm like, but they're claiming that this has been around for a long time.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't know if you had the ability in the 60s or 70s to build something like that.
I don't know, man. You've seen Iron Sky. You know,
I'm not saying I know.
There's Nazis on the moon.
I'm saying I don't know. And in Antarctica?
Yeah.
What's Iron Sky?
You never seen that old movie? You need to watch the Iron Sky movies where the Nazis are up on the base, have bases on the moon. It's hilarious. It's some campy, crazy, like it ought to be covered by Mystery Science Theater.
I've seen the, did you ever watch the one, Jose Escamilla, with the, like, all the bases on the moon?
Yes.
It's pretty cool, but some of the colors that he's claiming that's on there are things he always, like when you're watching the video, it'll light up and show you this structure. It's an interesting idea, but it's really hard to make out what it is. But if he claims that they're like glass domes, if he's right and that's real, I mean, they're like everywhere. Not like three things everywhere.
Yeah, I'm thinking back right now that what you said. Yeah, there was the
everywhere.
Story he tells, there is a pile of them up there.
It looks like there's a giant like mining device up there.
Yeah.
And what about
really like a large naked dudes working?
Richard Hoagland. Remember, there's something called the Shard. And they're talking about, like, you know, based on how big it is, it would be taller than any building that we have.
Or yeah. Now, what was the? You're gonna have to help me out here because I can't remember. We've done too much. The fella that was. He was it Ingo Swann that was doing the remote viewing, and then when he saw that stuff on the moon, you remember we did that whole show about it. Then they stopped him. They stopped him from going any further.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, I think it was, but I can't remember if it was him or not. I don't remember. If y'all remember, go ahead and type it in there. But there was a guy that they went and got to do the remote viewing, and then after like he started talking about seeing men miners, like naked miners or something, out on the moon's surface working. I guess without any gear or something on, and they were like, nope, and gathered them back up.
Yeah.
Where they stopped him. They said, look, that's it. That's all we need to know. You're done.
Yeah, I remember.
They took him because, remember, they told him, they didn't give him coordinates, or they just said, we need you to look at this, or whatever, however they do it. But yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard those stories about the jump rooms.
Yep.
Man, I hope that we have that kind of technology.
Me too.
Like the jump room is like a Stargate or something.
Yeah, me too. I really hope we do.
And then you hear about like the secret Space Force.
Yep.
I don't know. That's for me.
Folks, everybody out there,
I don't know.
The Borrego Triangle documentary that Derek and Dave are doing, I'm really looking forward to because it's so different. And I think Kyle and I are going to sneak out there while they're doing it to look around.
That'd be cool.
I think that would be fun to look around. Everybody's asking about the military bases and all that stuff. It's not, I don't believe it's safe to start researching the military bases. You know what I mean?
Like bases here?
But when I'm talking like the Dulce and stuff like that, you start monkeying around with it because there may be just enough military.
See, the Dulce base, though, isn't a military base. That's the thing. It's like just some kind of secret.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that's my problem with the story.
Yeah.
You would have to have an elevator. You have to have some way to get to it. I've never heard a good explanation for how people get to it.
Click your heels together.
I don't know.
Right?
Go to a jumper. I don't know. I hope it's real.
I do too.
Because if so, that's a really cool story.
Now, do you think we're going to shift gears. Do you think, like you've seen that old movie, The Descent, right? Where the girls go spelunking and those creatures are down there in the cave. You ever seen that movie?
I don't think so.
I just wonder if there's like with the Hollow Earth, maybe it's not like the lizards, right? There's no reptilians. What if it is just a whole nother race of beings that can live underground down there?
Well, I've always loved the movie like Journey to the Center of the Earth and stuff. I mean, those stories are cool. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the creatures they encounter down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is an interesting idea. And I think all those movies are based on ancient literature where there's always been theories about stuff like that, whether it's real or not. But my first question would be, how could they, what are they living off of?
That's true.
What are they eating?
Well, you're also thinking
about
heard
the stories of
it was you.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a different species.
You also heard the stories of Earth where there's a sun and everything inside. You've heard those stories.
Yep.
I just don't understand how it would work, I guess.
I don't. I have no idea how it would work. I just like to believe that there's a species down there. What was it on the Time Machine?
Oh, right.
When
That
they
was
what were those things called?
Jumping up out of the sand.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say like the Modoc or something, but I
Morlock.
can't. Yeah,
Something
Morlock,
like that.
whatever it was, where they come up and snatch people and take them down and eat them and whatever
They
they
pull
do.
them down through the
Yeah,
sand.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Jump Rooms, Project Camelot. Yeah. See, there's so many stories out there, and then you got to start wondering, like, do they release these movies throughout this time to help soften the blow? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
like,
no, I know what you
you're
mean.
doing them, and then all that. Yeah, I don't. It's just crazy.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
The Space Navy is real. It's called Solar Warden. You've got all kinds of these, Bed Geek. You've got all kinds of these
Well,
claims.
And we did just develop a new Space Force, right? I mean, so that like Trump did
Yep.
as a
Morlocks.
branch.
That's it. Morlocks. That's what it was.
Yeah.
What's Nathan say? How much money would you need to be paid to spend the witching hour in the Hoya Baciu forest?
Yeah, we did an episode on that.
Mm.
I would do it.
I would do it.
I mean, if I could be armed.
I would do it for free. If they would let me go do it, we
Yeah, I
could
would
go
do it.
document it. I would do it.
But I would still be armed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I would like to go there.
If nothing else, to check myself out in case stuff got crazy.
You always save the last one for yourself.
That's right. I don't want those things to crab people. No thanks. I need crab. I told you about the story when I met the crab dude over there at the state fair. Remember the
I don't
lobster
remember this.
boy? Remember the guy with the pinchers? I got to hang out and
Oh,
talk to him
yeah.
when I was a kid.
Yeah. What was the Museum of the Weird you went to in Austin? Did they
That
have
was
a crab
awesome.
band there too?
That was awesome. Yeah, the Museum of the Weird was awesome. That's where you could see the Minnesota Iceman. Yeah, that was cool.
Well,
They had a bunch of cool
we know
stuff
that that's
there.
not real. The Minnesota Iceman.
But we don't.
No, I thought they proved that it was just a touring thing, and people knew it wasn't real. They'd still pay the $3 to go look at it.
That was a different one.
Is that a different
But
one?
yeah, that was the one that Crazy was running around. Here's the thing about the Minnesota Iceman. Remember, the old story goes that it was real, and they switched it out and was letting the fake one tour while they could keep the real one and study it while they still made money off the fake one.
I got
That
you.
was the idea behind it.
Yeah, who was the guy that recently was doing that? Todd.
That wasn't Todd Standing, was it?
I think so.
The one that brought it around, because he brought it here to Texas, and you and I was going to go see it.
I think it was him. But I mean, pretty early on, it was known that
Yeah.
it wasn't very real. And I think Lyle or something. We talked to somebody that saw it. Maybe it was Nick, and he was like, "Yeah, it was obviously."
No, I think
fake."
it was Lyle.
He was like, "Yeah, it was obviously fake."
Yeah, I think it was Lyle.
It was somebody we knew.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Now I'm going to have to look up the Lobster Boy so I can remember to tell you the guy's name.
When is the Texas State Fair? Well, every year it's in. Well, we don't know about this year. It's in October, end of September, October, and it's a couple weeks long. And then the big event of the whole fair is Texas OU football.
That's
The
true.
big football game.
Grady Stiles was that man's name. That's the one I forgot
that's
his
right.
name. Because remember, his family killed him because he was abusive and all that stuff. And I got to actually hang out with the guy for a little bit. It was pretty wild, to be honest, to sit there. But looking back, as you get older, you remember these things, but it's almost like a romantic idea of it because it's been so long ago. You know, I mean, it was like I was young whenever all that went down. But just the idea of
because-
getting to spend time with the dude and talk to the guy, it's kind of surreal.
The whole thing is antiquated. Like, there's not really any more touring circuses, is there? Didn't they shut down Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey pretty much?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they still do, like, acrobatic stuff. But, like, when we were kids, there were still traveling circuses, traveling carnivals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember that stuff happening in our town anymore.
Yeah, there used to be the Carson and Barnes used to come here all the
That
time.
was at the Posse Grounds.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't it? And then it would also come down where we have
World's
First
smallest
Monday.
horse, and it was like a pony.
Yeah. World's tallest. What was it? The world's smallest giant, and it was like a normal sized dude sitting there. We've
Yeah.
always joked about.
Yeah.
Uh,
But remember the carnivals would come?
Yeah.
And then you would also have, like, rattlesnake roundups. Like, there's a lot of things that you just...
we used to have the rattlesnake roundups here like crazy.
I heard that they don't do it anymore because of, like, PETA and stuff. Like, people were protesting because they were killing all those snakes and skinning them, and you could get fried. You could get stuff for your hat. You could get belt buckles. I mean,
I ate several every time we were there. You could
awesome.
buy a plate. It was good.
They had the plexiglass.
Yeah.
So imagine like a small hockey rink, but the dasher boards, like every other board, was plexiglass so you could see. And they'd do a show like every hour.
Yep.
The guy would go in there and mess with it. And there was rattlesnakes everywhere. But they don't do that
And you
anymore.
remember the guys that did that also used to come to the Texas Trophy Hunters Extravaganza. Remember? Because every year it'd be indoors too. So you could go to the Hunters Extravaganza and you could watch it. And then you could go out here in the park. I remember it used to sit in the parking lot up by the old Kroger building. It would be huge out there, and there was rattlesnake earrings, and I mean
everything.
It was everything. It was crazy.
And
it was everything.
And not just that they have rattlesnake stuff, but they had like scorpions.
Oh yeah, in acrylic.
Like you could,
I have got. I'm gonna find it. I have got a bolo tie, one of those that you like.
The scorpion,
and it's got an arrowhead with a scorpion in it.
It's awesome.
I've got it somewhere
You should
still.
be wearing that every day.
I should wear it every time. Yeah, every time.
What is this? Love you guys. What's your take on the Hellier documentary? Okay.
I've not watched it. I'll leave that up to Kyle.
I'm going to say, first off, look, I like Dana and Greg Newkirk. We used to do a lot of the sightings that they were reporting on back in the day when they did their blog. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I can't think of it off the top of my head what they called that. If they still
Weekend
do it.
or Week of the Weird?
Yeah,
or,
something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I like Dana and Greg. I think it's cool. They filmed it great. What I will say was like the first season, there's 2 seasons. I've not watched the second season. I only watched the first season. And the first 2 episodes of the first season were awesome. I'm all in, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy, I don't remember what state it was. I think it was Kentucky. There's a guy that lives in a house, and his family, and he has like 2 kids, and they just moved there, and they're being terrorized. At night, there's like little creatures or something tapping on his kid's window. He's going outside. He's finding little footprints. They lead back into like a creek or a cave. He takes pictures of the footprints, everything, sends them in. So they, I'm really, at this point, I'm all in. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be awesome. They're going to find these cryptids. They're going to find these little creatures. And then they go to the town, and they can't really find the spot. The guy that sent the email kind of disappeared. Anyway, so as it goes on, the more and more episodes went on, it was like a really cool premise. It was like a really cool story, but then just nothing ever happened. It ended up turning into sitting in the woods or sitting in a cave, and did you hear that? Oh, I heard something. I think I heard something throw a rock. That was my biggest disappointment. I guess it's not that I disliked the movie. I was disappointed.
Yes.
Because nothing really happened. It was a big build-up, and then nothing happened. So I never even watched season 2 because I was disappointed with season 1. I know a lot of people really liked it, and that's awesome. If you like that documentary, dude, I will say I like the fact that they give it away, like on YouTube. I mean, like you don't have to pay for it.
Yep.
Which is awesome because nowadays everybody's trying to, make a little money, which I understand. It takes time and effort to film that stuff, to edit that stuff. I personally, I didn't enjoy it. I found I was disappointed. I wish they would have been able to find more about the creatures. And in fact, by the end of it, I'm not so sure that it's even legitimate. I think maybe they got...
You think maybe there could have been some nonsense going on?
I think the person duped them. Yeah, unfortunately. Let's see, what else do we see here? Okay, about the UFO evidence that the Pentagon just released. Yeah, we kind of covered that earlier. Because of this person's
paranormal doc recommendation on Netflix or Amazon. Jeremy, my favorite ones right now is the Bob Lazar documentary that Jeremy Corbell does. Bob Lazar, Area 51, and what's it called? Flying Saucers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I really like that one. I also really like Jeremy's take on, what's the one I told you about, the Skinwalker Ranch. That's a good one. Jeremy does a great job. I like his. Everything Seth does is fun. I mean, all of his stuff, if you want to catch up and learn, like...
That's on Amazon, though,
a lot. Yeah, that's on Amazon. A lot about pretty much everything. Like, he covers a bunch of good stuff. So those are really good. I don't go too deep. Like, I guess on some of the crazy ones, I would rather read about them than watch a documentary. So I like to read up on the books before I go watch the documentaries about them.
I will say, like I mentioned earlier, the Jose Escamilla, his documentary.
Just like saying his name.
Moon Rising, I think it's called. You might check that one out. It's pretty cool, pretty interesting. But Jose's also the guy, though, that did a documentary on the rods. and when it just turned out that was
Bugs.
like slow shutter speeds
Yeah.
on your camera, right? So, I mean, it's the same guys. I don't know, but I know that moon rising, pretty interesting stuff. If those structures are in fact structures on the moon, I mean that's the hard part, especially with today. Is like I follow a lot of Instagram pages where it could be something like UFO lovers or whatever, and you'll see these objects flying from behind the moon and stuff. But with today's, what you can do at home with like Adobe After Effects, I mean, it's really hard to tell what's legitimate or not, right?
That is 100% true. Is it so easy now? Well, and not just that, but so many people now have access to good camera equipment, and they love the story so much that you could go out and put together a pretty good hoax real quick. You could set it up and go. I think back to there's a documentary that's on Hulu called Wrinkles the Clown. And if you watch that for the idea of what you could do with a Bigfoot story, then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Explain people about that. That's pretty interesting.
It's basically an artist that did a social experiment. Everybody thought that Wrinkles the Clown was real, that he was a creepy old clown that was going and harassing children, and that you could, if your kid was being mischievous, that you could contact Wrinkles the Clown by a phone call. So you could send it, you get his voicemail, you leave the voicemail, and if Wrinkles took the job, he would show up and scare the hell out of your kid.
Trick him into being good.
Yeah, and there was videos on YouTube with Wrinkles like in a kid's bedroom, like somehow, and just lingering, and like it was very disturbing. And then they go and they want to go talk to Wrinkles, and they find out it's like a homeless guy living in a van, and he does this clown stuff. And there's all this big backstory. And then it ends up, not to ruin it for you, but it's all basically a social experiment. So that's what I said is you need to go watch it if you're really into that kind of stuff. And you'll be able to see what I'm talking about, how you could easily do a social experiment with a Bigfoot hoax.
Yeah.
Like you could put together a really good one, and you could get a lot of your friends involved, and you could get a lot of the group involved. And then that way you could really, like, imagine, because it's all about who you can get on your side. So if you took, like, let's say I got you, and then we got 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 2 dozen of our friends and family to come on and be, or even just hired actors. You can go and hire actors, like, anything you want to act like they're this or that, and you built it like you're building a movie documentary, but you make it out to all be real. Look how easily people got tricked. I'm one of them with the witch,
Blair Witch.
The Blair Witch.
Yeah,
when that was first announced, it's insane. I was like, what? And then you get to going in this, and then you realize, like, oh, okay,
that was like
it's
the
found
early
footage.
days of the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So what I just think about it is if you take that premise and move it into what we like to cover, whether it's UFOs or anything along those lines. It was almost the way they did The Fourth Kind, right? Wasn't that? It was almost like they kind of used it in that form or fashion. But if you do something along those, then yeah, it's gonna be different. But it's interesting. Yeah, mockumentary. There you go.
Yeah, Robert's like what? Wrinkles isn't real?
Yeah, the mockumentary always makes me think of the mermaid stuff that you watched
on the Discovery Channel.
Watching it. Yeah,
they did a couple of those. The mermaid, then they did the megalodon, and so many people were believing it that like the president of Discovery Channel had to like come up and say, "Hey, look, it wasn't real." Remember?
Yeah.
And I think he got fired, and they hired a new guy, and the new guy was like, "We're not going to do any more of those."
Yeah, they quit doing it
because people were thinking that was real. I haven't talked to many people that were like I'd be somewhere. And they'd be like, "Did you see that?" And I'd be like, "Are they joking right now? Like, you didn't know that that's not real?"
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Uncle Jack, Aunt Jackie? Hope you're being safe. I hope you're, feeling good, washing your hands, staying locked down. That's my aunt and uncle in New Jersey. They're watching.
Yes.
Let's see here. What is this? I'm from Oregon. There's a good documentary on little people.
The roll-offs. Get out of here.
Yeah, no, we're talking about.
Yeah. Look, it's not bad. They got divorced.
Yeah.
I saw all that stuff.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, I saw something. They got divorced.
What was the other one that was real popular? Kate Plus 8 or something. Remember that?
I don't know. No, I don't remember that. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I think my wife would,
Yeah, I would use that. Yeah, my wife.
Yeah,
my wife.
I watched it.
Cam, what bow do you shoot, and what's your arrows set up? I shoot a Black Widow. think it's a PSA. Mine's the 58-inch Black Widow at 56 pounds. I shoot a Day 6 350, 4-fletch trad vanes, and I shoot 200 grain field tip, but I got an extra 50 grain in the collar up front, and I got the wraps on it, and I'm trying to think, what else do I have? I got cutthroats. I like to shoot cutthroat broadheads, single bevel. So that's pretty much my setup now. Yeah, I'm thinking about going to the arrows like we built for you, the Black Eagle Vintage. I may shoot and mess around with some of those too, but man, those Day 6s are beasts.
Yeah, so. I have a dozen of Day 6 arrows as well. I haven't even used yet. I'm using Black Eagle Vintage.
Yeah, those
for trad vanes, 4-fletch, same thing. Broadheads, I'm shooting Valkyries.
Yeah,
both the Jagers and the Blood Eagles.
Yeah, I got the cutthroats, the grizzlies, and the iron wills.
And for a bow, I shoot a Checkmate, 51 pounds, recurve. And my compound bow is a Matthews Halon 32.
I gave mine away.
I haven't shot it in over a year, but I still have it. I'm probably going to get rid of it soon. Do you want one? Is your draw length 27 and a half?
Yeah. I need to get rid of that.
Let's see. What is this? Back in the day, my dad had just bows and arrows. Yeah. I did too. My dad, I remember being a kid, and he had a recurve, and I was like, recurves, that's a joke. I want a compound bow.
Marion, listening from Romania. That's what I'm talking about. What's happening?
Always good gymnast from Romania.
Right?
Always.
Always good gymnast.
I don't know what it is in the water there.
Always good. 12 gauge.
Have we heard of the Nazi bell? Yes, sir. I know you're in Germany.
Yes.
Very interested in the Nazi bell. Die Glock, I think it's what they called it. Yeah, man, I find that stuff fascinating. I know that there was a guy, I can't think of his name, that wrote a book where, there's like a ring, and some people said it was like what a
You're
water.
talking about Joseph Farrell.
Yeah,
he wrote several books.
Yeah, Joseph Farrell, but there was another guy that he was like the first guy to come out with the story. And yeah, they were experimenting with time travel, and there was like some kind of special fluid. Like, I'm trying to remember what it was called.
I'm going to say it was Element 115 again.
No, but listen, you'll remember this story, and I think that they actually intercepted German U-boats traveling to Argentina, and they had that fuel source on there, so they think this was after the war. They think that the Nazis did not stop working with Die Glock when the war was over, that they actually just moved over to Argentina and were still working on it there.
Well, didn't they say they had another one that disappeared? Like they could never find it. And then they also talk about the fact that, what was it, the Rendlesham Crash? That they claim it looked like, was it the Rendlesham? Where was it?
It was the one in Pennsylvania, Kecksburg.
The Kecksburg. That looked like
I wanted to say Kennewick. The Kennewick Man, no.
Yeah.
Kecksburg. Yeah, they said it was acorn-shaped.
Yeah, so it looked like the bell.
Like the bell. Remember in the middle of the night, the truck showed up, and the military put it in on a flatbed?
Yeah.
And they hauled it off, and people said, man, it looked like a giant acorn. Could have been De Glock. I know there was that whole group. I can't remember the woman's name right now. The Vril Society.
The Vril, yes.
And they think there at the end that they, climbed on board the Glock, I guess, and time traveled or went
wherever
somewhere.
It went. Yeah, wherever it went.
It's a really cool story. I know we did it early on. We should definitely revisit that. We should get Joseph on.
Yeah.
We've talked to him before, but I want to say at the time he was more interested in like conspiracies around world banking and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I specifically wanted to talk to him about the bell. I think that's a fascinating story that I hope is real.
What is it? What's my tattoo sleeve? A lot of fish. There's koi fish here, koi fish up here, and then I have my biggest fear. I have a shark here, a big great white shark on my forearm. Yeah.
James, what do you think about the harp up here in Alaska? Yes, I definitely think that is something that they've been experimenting with, trying to work on weather manipulation by being able to bounce intense signals off the ionosphere and things like that. So I totally, I don't think that necessarily it's operational. Like what I mean is that I think it was more of an experiment, right? Like they're working and probably ongoing experiments with it.
Yes.
But I totally believe that. I mean, I've watched a whole documentary on that. I can't remember the name of it, but they kind of showed you how it worked
How the whole thing pulled together.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this here? Do you think the time traveler photo at Niagara Falls was legit or a hoax? That's a tough one because, I mean, you can debate either way. I don't know that I don't know.
I've seen several of those pictures, though, where it looks like a guy's holding a cell phone.
Well, there's so many things that one simple photograph, you can discern it to be so many different things. You know, like a picture's worth 1,000 words. It truly is. And so you could take a picture and then you can tell the story of the picture any way you feel fit. So maybe he had something in his hand. He was listening if it was click. You know, I mean, there's like a watch. I don't know. There's so many different things that you could do. So that's one of those deals. I don't know enough about a lot of the photos of these time travelers because it's not something. I like the stories, but I don't really dig into the photos to see how it is. So, I mean, I guess it could possibly be real.
Right.
I like to part of me, because I enjoy the time slip stories so much, likes to believe that somewhere out there is a picture of someone that had time slipped and got caught, and they're like, what am I doing here? And then that person's gone again. I like that whole idea.
Melissa Michelle, she says she was born in New Jersey, and her mom actually saw the Jersey Devil when she was in high school. Melissa, send the story in. Have your mom, if you can, detail that story, write it out, email us. That would be awesome. Love to hear about it. We collect all kinds of sightings from all over the world, so I would love to hear more about the Jersey Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Have I ever been guests on Mysterious Universe? Not guests on, but we have spoke to Ben and Aaron
off air
quite a bit. Yeah, we've spoke to those guys. Those guys are great dudes.
Yeah, they're awesome. We were
really
actually going to do some work with them years ago.
About 4 years ago.
And then it just didn't pan out. But yeah, no, I love those guys. Awesome.
Heard of the pyramid in Alaska? Yes, I have heard of that. Anytime there's pyramids, it freaks me out, and I love it. I love the idea of ancient stuff like that. Loud and clear in Malta. Woo! 4 o'clock is the magic time. I don't even know what time it is now. 5. We've been at this an hour?
Yeah, it's been an hour.
Yikes.
Let's see here.
Yikes.
Do you think, or do you believe, relatives that have passed on come back to visit you? Yes, because we've gotten so many reports over the years of ghost sightings. And I would say probably 40% of the ghost sightings, the people knew who they were seeing. And most of the time, it was a loved one. Not only was it a loved one, but it seems really common right after the person dies.
Yes.
So, like, when someone passes away, within a week or two, it's like they're coming back to say goodbye, or I don't know, but it's very common. It's not as common for, like, 12 years later to see your grandmother. But right after they pass, it seems to be very common. I don't know what that is. Is it real? Is it because of your mourning, your mind, you're manifesting this as a vision? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I guess it could be. It really honestly could be. Like I said, I've told the story that my grandfather had that sighting, but it was, a little bit after my grandmother had passed.
Yeah. Because you know that things that affect your brain cause you to see things that aren't really. When you've been awake, if you've had to work and you haven't gone to bed in like 3 days, you literally will start seeing like weird stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're not thinking right. So imagine if you're in great despair, you're distraught, mourning the death of someone that you really cared about. You see their ghost. Did you really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Possibly.
I like to think that that they could come back. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like you feel, well, like we've discussed before, like this, the third man effect. Mm-hmm. How do we not know that that's not a family member?
You don't.
Exactly. Not involving themselves in your life, or just a little bit of some sort.
I wish my family members that have passed on would like help me. Like when I'm shooting craps or something, they roll the dice over a little more for me.
Or tell me who to bet on.
When I'm playing like a Super Bowl party where we're picking squares, help me pick the right square. I mean, like they never really do anything good for me.
Yeah.
Picking numbers for the lottery.
Like how come psychics aren't all billionaires?
I think you know the answer.
It doesn't work that way. They always say it doesn't work like that. Well, it should.
Yeah.
It should.
It doesn't work like that because it doesn't work. That was always the joke when you were in school, right? The guidance counselor knew everything. I'm like, well, if he knows so much guidance, why did he become a guidance counselor? Let's see. What is this? Hey, Maggie, what's up? Maggie's from London. That's cool.
What part of Texas are we from? We are west of Dallas-Fort Worth. We're west of Fort Worth about 30 miles. So North Texas.
Yeah, when you drive from Fort Worth going west, it used to be a big block of country. Then it would be Weatherford, but now it's grown so much.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that you were in a different town, really. Oh, Charles Ward said he's had several dream visits from his dad and uncle. That's cool, man. That's
John
awesome.
Doe says here, if you are Christian, just know to discern. A lot of stuff these guys talk about are either illusion or of deception. Loved ones do not visit you when they die. That's a demon. Well, John, I'm glad that you know so much, and I'm glad that you know everybody's sightings and everybody's understandings. I appreciate that. I appreciate how educated you are on this subject and how we're all dumb. That's facetious.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Thanks for filling us in. Let's see, what is this?
Oh, from San Antonio. What's happening?
Oh, this person just got into archery. Should I get a compound or a recurve? I would, if I was me, I would tell you to probably start with a compound. They're easier to shoot, less frustrating.
Yeah.
If you buy a pretty decent compound bow now in 2020, you could literally be shooting really good in 2 weeks, like a short amount of time. Where if you want to go recurve, traditional bow, be prepared to suck for a while.
Well, and it also,
I mean, really.
You've got to clarify, what are you doing? Are you just going to shoot targets? You just want to have
sure.
fun? You just want to shoot archery? Are you actually wanting to hunt with it? If you're wanting to hunt with it, you're going to have to dedicate a lot more time to a traditional bow than you would have to, say, a compound bow. So you got to look at it that way. If you want to just shoot and have fun, traditional bows are, any archery is fun.
Yeah, it's all
So
fun.
yeah, it's all, and it's also like you can get into archery very, very cheap, or you can like go crazy if you want to.
Yeah, cheaper. The recurve definitely is cheaper than a compound bow.
Have we had any cryptid encounters? No. Sadly, no. Nothing awesome. No kind of crazy cryptid encounter. I haven't seen anything odd. Other than that stuff I talked about on the show that my daughter and I saw above that restaurant. Other than that, man, I've
never seen anything cryptid.
And I don't know what that, I still to this day have no idea.
I don't think I want to see anything cryptid.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bob Man. You guys used to do true crime shows. Have you gotten away from them altogether? No. We just haven't done one in a
put
while.
one together.
Yeah. We don't really put a lot into, how do you want to say this? Strategizing what shows we release. Like literally we probably just like start, hey, what are you going to talk about this week? I think I'm going to talk about this. I never say, hey, Cam, no, don't do castles, because we just did McDowell's Hole.
Yeah.
Or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Every once in a while we find a good true crime story. So yeah, I'm sure we're going to revisit true crime again. In fact, have you been watching the HBO on the Atlanta murders?
I have not watched any of it yet, but I'm going to.
Because I enjoyed the podcast so much.
That's me, yeah. And I'm hoping that they go into the in-depth parts of the fact that they think that they arrested the wrong man for murdering the children. Now, they're not saying that he didn't murder some of the adults, but they don't think he was involved in the, so I want to see how that goes.
Oh, there's definitely shenanigans in that story. It doesn't mean the guy was a good guy, but I definitely think there was something going on in the town of Atlanta during that time.
Camp Lejeune, what's up? That's what I'm talking about.
Sometime back, you read my story about the creature at the nuke base. The chirping described in Hellier isn't too far off from what I heard.
I don't want to know about that.
Yeah,
we were just talking about that. If
that's the story, I think we were just talking about that sighting. Like the rake-looking creature.
Yes. I have a nephew.
I got a flying humanoid story. Treehouse Cannabis. Email the show.
Yeah, send it.
SpanishPerspectives@yahoo.com.
Send it. Did you see some type of humanoid or UFO? I still don't know. I mean, literally, the thing that I saw, like I said, I only can describe it as, because it's the one thing that I know so well, is a lightweight tarp like you would use for hunting or backpacking, camping, anything like that. They are an OD green or a coyote tan. And, of course, there are multiple colors, but this is the color of this thing. And it moved like a very thin nylon type material.
Yeah, you
like
said
silk
it
poly.
Looked like a tarp.
Yeah.
But you said that it wasn't really windy. So how could it be moving across the sky on its own? And
there was no wind. The flags were laying like dead against the flagpole, I believe.
You're at Flames, right?
Yeah, at Flames. There might have been a little breeze, but there was not enough to move this thing the way it was moving, like rolling, as I mean, like you see like a plastic sack, right? And you've seen, everybody here's been driving and seen like a plastic bag or something blow across the road as it's in a tumbling manner. That's what this thing looked like, except it was up in the sky. 100 foot or so above us, 150 foot, rolling like that. And it seemed large. Like looking at what I thought it was now and looking up, like it was a pretty good sized square if you were to draw a square, but it wasn't. It looked, I don't know. It's very strange by how that thing hit and rolled. And it's just weird. And I still don't know. Like, it kept moving. And you would think eventually, like, it's going to drop, or it would, like when you see something as it's undulating, as it moves through the sky. This thing just kind of kept the same pace and the same height and just moved off into the darkness and kept continuing north from where we were. It was very, very strange. And I still have no reference or no idea what the heck it was.
And why do you think so many people, when they see these things flying, that they're always described as mantis, or not mantis, but like manta ray?
Yep, the big manta rays.
That's weird, I think. Let's see. Someone's got some Sasquatch stories they want to send us. Dude, send them in. We're even planning on collecting a lot of the stories and perhaps publishing a book with the stories in there. So,
Bob asked, had it been a liner for a tank battery? It might have been if there was wind. How would you get a liner 150 foot in the air with no wind and it continue from a distance of who knows where it came from all the way down to past us and kept continuing? Like, I'm telling you, there was not enough wind to move anything. A floating copper sheet that solidified into a cylinder and then, whoa. Negative. I don't want to. We moved down to San Antonio from a small town in Vermont.
His great-grandmother Johnson was a witch. Or
James, send it in. Shadow people. See, the shadow people stuff, it never ends.
If you're really into shadow people sightings, then you need to follow the author Heidi Hollis. She's got a whole bunch of books on shadow beings and the Hat Man in particular, which I think is really odd. Why do people see, like, it's not just a shadowy being, but it's got a fedora on? Why the fedora? Why would it wear a hat like that? There's also people that claim that Men in Black are one and the same with Hat Man.
Yeah.
Like, the Hat Man visits you, that's type of like a Men in Black saying, hey, look, like, you're looking into something you're not supposed to be looking into. We don't want you talking about this. Even Dan Aykroyd claims that he was followed by Men in Black.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. What does it say here? Is your part of Texas a hot spot for cryptids or UFOs? Both, actually.
We live just on the road from Stephenville.
Stephenville's about an hour south of us, and Aurora is about 45 minutes northeast of us, rather.
Lake Worth Monster.
Yeah, we've there's a bunch.
There was a sighting in our town, actually.
Yeah.
I don't remember what year that was, the 50s?
No. The one right up here, the Bigfoot sighting took place in like 72 or 74.
Oh, really? For some reason I thought about it being earlier.
Yeah. Now, there's a bunch of wild stuff that goes on, right? But I think, like I said before, if you look into it, wherever you're living now, everybody watching, wherever y'all are living, if you start looking into things in your area, if you go on websites like the BFRO, say, and pick your state, and then start picking like your counties and looking through all that and digging around, you'd be surprised what you'll be able to find. There may not be any, there may be one or two, or there may be none, and then you may go over to like the neighboring county and you'd be surprised what's there. But every town in every state in the U.S. has something strange
in other parts of the world
that have gone on. Yes, it's right across the whole thing.
It's everywhere. That's why that's why I think so many people are into the stories or into the paranormal. Is because no matter where you are, who you are, you've experienced something strange, or somebody you've heard a story, a legend, like every place, especially like older parts of like Europe and stuff. There's so much legend and lore.
Yeah.
Whether it's real or not, it's interesting to hear about.
Yes,
right?
Very.
Let's see.
Did they ever find out?
I remember that.
Why the feet and shoes were washing up in the Pacific Northwest coast.
Remember that story?
I do remember that story, and to be honest, I've not gone back to follow up on that. I need to go see what all the new stuff is on it. I'm not even sure.
I know that they found like 7 or 8 different times where they would find just like feet still in their shoes, still in their sneakers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I need to go find out about that for sure, of what that whole deal is. And then I had some more. Let's see what I've got here. There's tons of little people stuff that people have sent in. crazy like encounters and stuff like that. I would like to know if there is, and this is just not knowing that there could be, but I would like to know if there is a difference between the Fae that are in North America and the Fae, let's say, in Europe or Scandinavia. If they're the same.
In South America, they're the windy.
Yeah. Now, we get stories that seem like they go up like the little hat and the little clothes and all that, like you would see. We get those stories from around the world. But I do often wonder, if is it the same? Or like the way we talk about Bigfoot, it's something almost across the globe. There's one type of Bigfoot that's seen around the world, and then there's offshoots, and it seems to be that way with the Fae. So I just wonder, there should be like the gnome, and right here, like they talk about the gnome sightings of the little gnome with the little gray beard and the little hat. I feel like that little gnome sighting is kind of like the regular Bigfoot. Like the gnome is seen everywhere. And then you start getting into the specialty species of seeing them in the areas that you're from. But I would like to know the breakdown of that. That might be something I need to look into.
Yeah,
the
I agree.
breakdown of the little people
I can
in
see
different
that,
areas.
I can see that my mother is in the chat room now.
Uh-oh.
And she's talking about 30 years ago, north of downtown Weatherford, my neighbor, she saw a UFO across the road hovering in the field. That was about 40 years ago. I think I talked about that actually on the last live stream. Remember I talked about the neighbor seeing the old woman seeing the UFO, and I had dreams about aliens and stuff like that. So I don't know if I was actually abducted or if it was just a terrible nightmare from the books that my dad and his ex-business partner showed me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I've talked about that before.
What do we think about David Pilatus' works? I love a bunch of the stuff, but I don't know. There's some other stuff Kyle and I are looking into that have to do with a bunch of that. So I don't want to discuss David as a man or any of his stuff, but I do know some of the stories.
I enjoy I enjoy a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
I think I own every book that he's ever
Yeah.
written. And if you're thinking of buying them, don't buy them on Amazon. They're super expensive for whatever reason. Just go to Can-Am Project.
Yes.
That's his website. You can get them. They're only like $20, $29. And my favorites are the first two, the Western United States and the Eastern United States. Those are my favorite ones.
I like those two and the Hunters.
And the Hunters, Missing Hunters is very interesting. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting... My favorite stories when you comes out of those books are the ones where it's like a 2-year-old that has found goes missing, and they can't find the 2-year-old. They call the police. The police call search and rescue units. They organize a posse, and people start looking, and they end up finding the child like maybe 14, 25 hours later, alive, 12 miles away, up a mountain, across 2 rivers, across 3 fences.
Yeah.
And he's totally fine.
Yeah.
In cold weather. And it's like, how does that happen? First of all, a 2-year-old is not going to go 12 miles. It's definitely not going to cross 2 rivers. It's not going to cross fence. It's not going to go up the mountain. When you're going to go down a mountain. And, most 2-year-olds, they're going to just sit there and cry.
Mm-hmm.
And they find them a lot of times with their clothes off or put on but backwards.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The kids don't suffer from hypothermia.
Yeah.
And are alive. For whatever reason, they find the adults often dead, but the children they almost always find alive. And they talk about like a bear.
Yep.
Kept them company all night.
Well, the one girl
Those
said
are my
that the bear
favorite
took her by the hand.
Yeah.
And let her. The story that sticks with me is about the boy and the 2 little girls, the family, whenever the National Guardsmen found them, they were hiding in a brush pile. And they saw them stick their head up out of the brush pile and look around. And they went over there to them, and when they got over there, they were still hiding, and they were like, "What are you hiding from?" And they said, "The monkey men."
Yeah,
they were hiding from the monkey men on the mountain. And I'm like, "Sheesh, no, thank you."
So why would the kids come up with that?
What what made you think about it? Like, there's so many of those tales with the kids where they discuss this, and also, what is it about where they come out and it's like they're almost still in a daze?
Yeah, they're almost like in a trance. Also, a lot of disappearances happen around berry picking or berry patches.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, there's always like inclement weather right after they disappear.
Yeah.
So like they bring in tracking dogs, but because it rained so much or snowed so much, the dogs are ineffective.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. Like it's weird, the timing.
I've often wondered though why, and even when we brought up the whole Bluff Creek Massacre story, why they haven't worked on like getting a tracking dog to track a Bigfoot, right? Like I know it's hard to find, but like if you had a habitual site and you wanted to, you know, what's the best thing to do? You put the dogs on them. You know, eventually you're going to end up getting some kind of action out of it. But it always seems like the dogs never track. Like they will, you know, just like they talked about in the Missing 411. Those books will tell stories of dogs not wanting to do anything. Like it's like, nope, they can't find the scent, they can't find the trail. So I don't know. I mean, it's another one of those strange things that if you link it up to the Fae or to Sasquatch, to crypto, which I will give David this. He doesn't ever put his finger on it. You know what I mean? He doesn't come out and say, this is what it is. So I like the fact that he kind of leaves it up to you. He's like, look, I'm just presenting this stuff.
I'm not saying
I don't know where it went.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's the same reason I like the story. Is I'm not saying it's a Sasquatch. I'm not saying it's Fae folk. What I'm saying is it's odd the way they go missing, or odd the way they find a child miles and miles away, unharmed, unscathed, perfectly fine. Like, to me, that's why I like the stories, because it's unexplainable. Something happened. I have no idea what. Yeah, somebody talks about Dogman encounters on YouTube. Yeah, that's a podcast. Came out years ago. What's his name that does Dogman encounters?
Vic
Cundiff.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if he does it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if he still does the Dogman. I think he still does his Sasquatch podcast, but I don't think he still does.
I remember when he first started that, I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of Dogman sightings, so you're going to be out of material pretty quickly. Yeah. And I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
The Dogman stories dried up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what ended up going down. Is he run out of information?
I remember in the beginning, it's Friday night, it's Dogman encounters.
That's right.
The way he used to go. Let's see.
And that's still a whole crazy thing. We've got to do some more. We got to get Andrew on. We're going to get Adam on. We got a few people coming on, but yeah, we're going to try with.
Who is the fellow we're going to be speaking to soon?
Adam Stokes.
About giants.
About giants, right? Yeah.
I'm working on getting Jim Vieira.
There we go. Yeah.
And Hugh Newman.
There you go.
I'm going to try to get those guys on. Also, it'd be very cool to talk to them.
Oh, we got somebody saying that Vic's put some more up. Really good.
Oh, okay.
Last time I checked,
I
hadn't seen any of his Dogman stuff had come up, so I'm glad to see he's still doing it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I thought he had stopped for whatever reason. Maybe I'm incorrect on that. I thought I had looked.
Me. I had looked, and I thought that he had stopped doing just the Dogman
But maybe
stuff.
he continued on YouTube and just stopped on iTunes. Like a lot of the time,
that might have been it.
I consume my podcasts and stuff on iTunes generally.
Yeah,
I'm working, driving around.
Yeah, that's the way. I'm the same way.
But I know that people, obviously here,
Yeah.
consume them on YouTube. That's cool.
I'm definitely going to have to find out now.
Speaking of Vic Cundiff, sorry, before we change gears, one of the guys, two men we interviewed one time about shooting the Dogman, we actually got those guys because Vic Cundiff actually interviewed them first.
Yeah, that's right.
I think I had heard them on Vic's show and reached out to him on Facebook or something.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
We're going to definitely have to, because Vic's he's a lightning rod for that kind of stuff, so it's fun. How's the human cockroach? Unstoppable.
The human cockroach, thank you, Scotty Pimpin, for asking. He's doing awesome. He's doing well. I believe he's at home resting. Fine. I mean, like, as you would imagine, the human cockroach can't be stopped. He looks fine. Like, you would not know that he fell and whacked his head just a couple days ago. You would not know that. That's the thing with the human cockroach.
They're saying they think that Vic stuff's only on YouTube.
Okay, so that makes sense.
That would be, yeah.
Because he used to do it on iTunes, and that's why I thought maybe he stopped. Awesome, dude. Yeah, if you're into Dogman stories, go definitely check out Vic's work.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're in contact with Vic, tell him I said hello. I think he does a fantastic show.
Think you could ever get Nick Pope on? Yeah, I've sat and talked to Nick as close as me and Kyle for quite some time before at the UFO conference. So, yeah, I could get Nick on for sure. He's a good dude. He's one of those guys that feels like I'm talking to a college professor when I sit down and talk to Nick Pope. Not Nick Redfern, Nick Pope. Different Nick. Yeah, he's great. Ever done an episode? Yes, we have.
Have you guys done an episode on the Chupacabra? Yeah, I believe.
Both versions. The South American version and the Texas version.
When I was in Puerto Rico, me and my wife went to the El Yunque
Look at me. I
National
went to Puerto
Forest.
Rico, everybody.
And while I was there, that was when some of the original sightings of the Chupacabra.
I saw a big snail.
And I remember being there, like trying to check it out, asking people around there if they knew about the chupacabra, and most of them, they didn't have any idea what I was talking about. So it makes me wonder, is like the chupacabra a big deal here, but not there? Because when I asked a couple of the locals, they didn't know what the heck I was talking about.
You know what? It probably is.
You know, like in our mind, we've built it up.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? You know, the reptile thing that was eating the lady's chickens? They're like, no, man. Have some more mofongo or whatever. I was at the Bacardi distillery, too, when I was
that
asking
might
this
have been
question.
as you're asking her.
They're giving away free rum.
Tilting back. Bacardi Silver.
They're probably like, what in the hell is this guy talking about? Yeah, we've seen it, buddy.
Sounds like Harry Carey. How you doing?
Yeah.
So you seen any chupacabra?
Yeah. Let's see here. Should talk with Lauren Coleman. Yeah.
He is a good dude.
He is a good dude.
He is a very good. Does he still have? I had heard they were closing the cryptozoology museum that he ran. That he was talking about closing it up.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. You know, he is probably somebody we should get on because we were going to do that with Jim Mars and we waited too long.
We hung out with Jim and waited too long and lost Jim. So yeah,
you know,
should probably
so Lauren
get Lauren on.
is also getting up there in the years, so we probably should try to
Silver Fox, Lauren Coleman.
Let's see.
He is an encyclopedia of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, La Duende, the South American dwarf-like creature, would be a cool topic. We've mentioned it. I don't think we've ever dedicated an entire show to it. But, yeah, we've talked about sightings of Duende. In fact, you're going to be excited because I've got a couple of emails over the last couple of months with more sightings of Duende. So at some point, we're going to be doing more shows on that. In fact, I think we talked about, like, my cousin and some coworkers of his told him a story about when they saw a Duende. I don't think my cousin saw the Duende, but his coworkers are from, like, South America or something.
Joe Holt says Jim Harold. What about Jim, Joe? He's a friend of ours. We've had Jim on. I've been on Jim's show talking about the stuff with my grandpa. Jim's a good dude.
Jim is an amazing dude.
That guy grinds like crazy, man.
And nice as can be. When we first started podcasting, it might have been even before we even launched the show, I had some questions. And this was back in the day before everybody sold a book or a master class or a course on how to podcasting.
How to do it.
So the trouble you would find is you would email your favorite podcaster, and it's like a secret recipe, like the Colonel's chicken recipe. They didn't want to divulge how they did their magic, feeling, I guess, threatened or competition. Jim was not that way. When I asked Jim questions about podcasting, he always gave me the information.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. And never held back in giving me exactly what to do, what not to do, who to work with, who to stay away from. And I remember him saying, when we talked to him early on, that if you keep doing the show every week, in 5 years, you'll be making enough money to do the show as like a job. And he was 100% right.
Yeah.
But then I think we probably beat that time frame, but he was right.
Yeah, where it'll pay for itself to where you don't have to spend a lot of money.
Right, you're not coming out of pocket.
Yeah.
Like we're not making
supporting
enough to live
itself,
off of, but we're making money. You're not losing money.
Yeah, where it's the thing about Jim that was shocking to me is you would think that, he'll help you out, but he's going to be in a hurry, right? Like, here's how you do this and this and that. Dude, Jim would be on there with us. We would talk to him.
Yeah,
like he was taking time. He is such a great dude. Like, he sounds like a great guy because he is a great guy. He really is an awesome dude. Let's see here. Underwater Story by Jim Harold. What's your favorite Netflix series on right now? What's yours, Philly?
Favorite Netflix series? I can't say that I'm watching one.
What's your favorite one that you've seen?
The one that I just finished. The last Netflix series I finished was probably Ozark.
Okay, I got you. But so what's one of your favorites that you've seen
that I've ever seen on that?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second.
Mine right now, and I finished it a while back on Netflix, one of my favorite series, and I've watched it twice now, is Altered Carbon. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm a big fan. Altered Carbon is great.
I was going to say Bloodline. It's not, I mean,
yep, I know
it's
what
just like a drama.
About. Yeah.
But I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
What you're talking about.
It's like 4, 5 seasons. If you haven't seen Bloodline, go back and watch it. It's really cool. I've been watching a series that I'm kind of into now. Isn't on Netflix. It's on ESPN. The Last Dance about Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Bulls.
I've not watched that yet.
I'm really into sports, so I really like it. My wife could care less.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
And I'm not even a big basketball fan. Like,
No.
I'm a big hockey and baseball fan.
Yeah.
But just like anything else we always talk about, like, I enjoy somebody who's really good at something. And I remember being, we grew up in that time. I mean, there wasn't a personal plan that doesn't know who Michael Jordan was.
Yeah.
And I even had Jordan. I even had Jordan shoes. I didn't even play basketball.
Yeah.
I've got like a 2-inch vertical.
With a good run up. Yeah.
That's what I've been watching.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something else. I thought I had another series that I finished up recently, but I don't remember what it was.
There's some good ones coming out. Like, they're doing a lot of really good. I can't wait till we get this COVID stuff over where everybody can go back to having health and all that again, because I can only imagine all of the brainstorming and scheming that these writers, because they had time at home writing. You follow me?
Uh-huh.
So you think about all the stuff that they may have, all kinds of crazy shows that they've created. Now they just got to go out and start making them. Whereas, like, you get caught up work, where now you get that downtime. You're like, all right, now I can do that. Did Carol Baskins murder her husband?
I think we talked about this. Maybe it was a podcast. If you want my honest answer, I don't think she did. I think it's convenient, and the way they filmed it makes it, isn't it convenient that the person that owns tigers, that's probably a good way.
You think he slipped off?
I think, hear me out.
Here we go.
I don't think she did. I think her husband, they mentioned in the show that he was married before and had a divorce. And they also mentioned in the show, no matter what that guy touched, turned to gold. Like, he was a heck of an entrepreneur. He made all kinds of money. Remember, he was burying gold and stashes of money in the ground all over. He would find his buddies.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can I stash some money at your place? I think when he got his first divorce, he lost his ass and had to give his wife split 50-50. He lost half of his assets, right? So then he finds Carol. She's because apparently he's a womanizer, her husband. Likes ladies.
Don't hate.
I'm not hating.
I hear jealousy in your voice.
Married her and was doing well again, and decided in his mind, like, look, I'm getting older. I'm not giving up half of my money again. She even talked about how he had a girlfriend in, like, Costa Rica.
Yeah.
He told his friend, that his mechanic buddy,
if I can pull this off,
you should come to Costa Rica and come visit me.
Yeah.
I think the guy collected all his money that he had hidden in the ground. He didn't want to put it in the bank because then the lawyers could get it. I think he skipped out to Costa Rica. Remember, they were saying he was flying without a license.
Yeah. I think also, too, he left it just vague enough to where if they pinned it on his ex-wife, he didn't care either.
Oh, yeah, he didn't care.
He's like, nah, they hook her up on it. I don't care. I don't mind one bit.
I think that the guy's living right now, sipping on a Mai Tai in Costa Rica with his girlfriend.
That's the way I like to think, is he's living it up down there. Yeah.
What about the new husband? Like, my wife sent me to do some stuff I didn't really want to do over the years, but I don't think I could put a collar on, get on all fours, and have her hold a leash with me on the beach as a wedding photo.
But I think I'm going to talk to her to see if I can get her to do that. I'd like to see that picture. That'd be a good one. Do we follow Albert Rosales? We've had him on the show.
Absolutely.
We spoke to Albert and own his books, too, I believe.
I think we were the first person to have Albert Rosales on a podcast. I'm pretty sure he said that we were the first people to ask him.
Yeah, we might have been the very first ones to ever get him on to talk about all the humanoid stuff that he's covered.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, that dude's
The Staircase documentary. Yes, Rory. I did watch that. I forgot about that one. Thanks for bringing that up. That was a really good one. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I've seen that. I think that guy 100% did it. I think that guy's guilty.
Oh, yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What do we got? What time is it? 5? We did it the same thing. We weren't planning on staying in here but like an hour, and now it's been an hour and a half.
What time is it? 5:37. Let's go another 15 minutes
You want to ramp it up? You want to just stay until 6?
Sure.
All right, we'll stay until 6.
And I got to go home and grill some steaks.
I'm going to be coming
Actually,
to your
I got to
house.
go to my mother's, pick up the kids, then grill some steaks. Or I could go to my mother's, pick up the kids, try to shoot that Tom.
That's what you need to do.
He was there again.
That's what you need to do.
He's teasing me.
Yeah, that's true. We are going to be doing, like I said, with the weather coming now and them lifting up stuff. Of course, it really doesn't matter where we live, where we're going to go. But anyway, we're going to start doing some more videos of in the field. So that's coming up. So not only are we going to start doing the video of us doing the podcast from in here so we can put it out on videos, but we're going to start doing a lot more field work videos because we got some more fun stuff, some more fun toys to mess around with.
have we ever gone hog hunting from a helicopter? No.
No.
But
That's
I
one of the
definitely
few ways I haven't killed one.
I definitely would love that. I'd have to play. I would have to play like the movie, the song from Apocalypse Now when they're coming into the beach. I'd have to have that going. Just
you're gonna be yelling for like a Full Metal Jacket. Get some.
Get some.
Get some.
Yeah. 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 That's
get some. That's shooting, yelling at the pigs. You know what? To be honest, I've never done it, and it might be fun. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming
hog hunting from a helicopter.
Yeah,
dude, it would totally be fun. How could it not be fun? Hanging out like a door gunner.
Hey, Robert, we should reach out to Joshua Cutchin. You should look into our back catalog. We've had Joshua on twice. He's a good friend of ours. We're actually having him come on again. We got both of his books, but thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, actually, yeah. We're going to have him on really soon. We were just talking to him the other day, as a matter of fact. What do you think is the best Bigfoot movie out there?
Like documentary or
I'm talking about like Willow Creek or what? For me,
man, it might be Willow Creek. I really enjoyed it.
Because of my age, I'd have to say Boggy Creek.
For me, I would probably have to say.
I've never seen it like a drive-in as a kid. It was scary to me.
I'd have to say Harry and the Hendersons.
That's an excellent movie.
That's one of my favorite ones. That's one of my favorite Bigfoot movies is Harry and the Hendersons. Yeah. No, back to the hog deal. I don't know if it would be. I like to say it would be fun, but I'm kind of like, maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe it's more fun to actually hunt them the way we hunt them than to race around to do something crazy like that. Because I know my luck, and it would end up like I'd go down or something crappy like that. Y'all guys, all of y'all that send us stuff, everything here. Whew, goodness, what is this? If you're interested, my group in Facebook, Superior History of the Upper Midwest.
Whew, that sounds awesome, Daniel.
I may have to check that out too.
He
said he's been doing live streams on all this wild stuff. See, just like that, Daniel dug into stuff around his place, folks. That's what I'm telling you. Look into what's around you. You would be surprised at what is going on all around all of us at all times. And you could go look into some wild, crazy stuff.
Yeah, you have to. If you're talking about like the Upper Midwest, like you definitely have to get into like the copper mining. I would look strong into that
for sure.
There's a long history of copper being mined 12 to 14,000 years ago, and we're talking about a large operation. So much so that like they've even tested copper found in Egypt, and it's from the quarries in Michigan.
Yeah, they found it off the coast in a Phoenician
huge
shipwreck.
operation. Like they're starting to think that during that time, 14,000 years ago or so, like pretty much that was all the copper in the world was being mined from that place,
which is crazy to think of.
Yeah, very cool.
Tells
Real
you how
talk,
much they've been
Cam.
coming here.
Pizza or burgers? Did we have this one before?
Real talk. I'm gonna have to go burgers.
I'm definitely going burgers. I like pizza,
but I love burgers.
I love burgers, like all different types of burgers.
You bacon burger? You like bacon on it?
I like bacon burgers. I like mushroom and Swiss. Sometimes I change it up.
Do you ever go burger no cheese? Or
Yeah,
you like
sometimes.
a piece of meat, a piece of cheese, and 2 circle breads?
I love that. I sometimes go without cheese too.
Every now and again, I'll go no cheese. Every now and again, I'll get
I
a
change
little
the types of
reckless.
cheeses. Sometimes I feel a little gayer.
Yeah, I like, but for some reason, first of all, let's be honest, bacon makes everything better. Let's not get carried away. Bacon is awesome.
I had a
Meat
BLT
candy.
for lunch today.
Really?
Yeah, my wife made it. Trust me, do not order BLT. I remember that was Rob Schneider in one of those movies.
Yeah. Man, now you got me hungry now.
What's
'cause
your
I want a burger.
address to send you stories? expandedperspectives@yahoo.com.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, just fire them off there. You can send it to us outside of America. Well, Kyle's been to Canada and South America. I've been down to Cancun, if that counts, when we come back out.
I've been to Mexico.
I've not been to Canada, but that's coming.
I've been to Canada like 4 times.
I think Kyle and I are actually going to end up going to Canada maybe next year. If it
For a
works
sheep
out.
hunt?
Bear, sheep, maybe
Maybe
something
one of
along
those
those
white
lines.
goats, man.
Pineapple on pizza? Yeah, I've tried it.
My wife loves that. The pineapple on the pizza. I'm not into that.
Is it legal to hunt hogs from a chopper?
Yeah.
You can hunt hogs here in the great state of Texas.
Any way you want to.
Any way you feel fit.
There's no
You want to hunt
rules.
them with a claw hammer and a handful of starbursts, go right ahead. They don't care.
They don't care. Yeah, and that's a popular method is in Texas. Years ago, like 5 years ago, there was probably 5 to 6 chopper businesses. Now there's hundreds. I mean, like It's a common thing. It's expensive though. That's why I haven't done it.
Yeah, it's costly.
I mean,
now they passed a law where you can hunt them. You can hunt them out of a hot air balloon. They just changed that up for this past year. So yeah, that's right, hot air balloons. So all of y'all sitting around that's got hot air balloons and want to go pig hunting, we got the state to do it in.
Hot air balloons looked cool. Like I really wanted to do that until a couple years ago when those people got caught in those wires and they burned them up. Everything. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Same thing with hog hunting. Thousands of dollars. I'm like, they're just pigs, man. They're everywhere.
That's the reason I'm like, look, I would do it if somebody had a chopper and was like, hey guys, we want to take y'all to go do it. I would go do it. But to pay to do it, I will probably never. I can't say for sure never, but I would probably never pay to go do it out of
here we go. Jeremy wants to know Arby's or Chick-fil-A. Dude, not even close. What for you?
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. Come on. Arby's is good, though. I'm not going to hate, just a good old roast beef.
Yeah.
It's good, but Chick-fil-A, come on, man.
What is it?
Anchovies on pizza. I've had that. It's not bad.
Awesome. Scotty, awesome. Will do. Will do. Thanks for the offer. Yes, it says if you hike the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail, hit me up and I'll hike a few days with you. For sure. It's going to happen. I'm starting my hiking. What did I tell you, Philly? 2026. 2026
he's got it planned out.
Is I will start on the AT southbound and do that. Then I will do the PCT. Then I will do the Continental Divide. And when I finish with those three, I may go do the Arizona Trail. There's a few others that I'm going to do, but I'm going to triple crown those. And it's if my body holds up, and if I don't lose my mind, I'm going to try to do it like almost back to back, like maybe only take 30 days off. But I will tell you this. The plan as of right now is to do videos and call-ins and talk to other hikers while I'm there. And then, because my wife is going to stage with me as we go, she's going to...
Oh, that'd be cool.
She's going to take we're going to either get a motorhome or like a travel trailer. And she's going to go and bounce, so I'm just working for a few days here and then getting where I can dump a bunch of this information and holler at you. And so the idea is either on the trail or however it works out, where Kyle and I can still do a show where I can call in, talk about what's going on, give updates as I work my way down the trail, posting pictures and going and getting stories of maybe some crazy sightings and the weird stuff that other hikers have seen or been exposed to going down that whole trail.
Hey, if anybody's into hiking and you have a recommendation on hiking shoes, I would love that. If you could send that to the show or even in the chat right here. I currently wear Keens, K-E-E-N, and they're good and waterproof, but like when you're doing, like when I hiked up Johnson's Peak the other day, they're tough on the bottom, so it's like good for walking on rocks.
But they're heavy.
Doesn't bruise the bottom of your feet, but they don't feel like they're very bendable.
Yeah, they're heavy.
So like Vibrams or something would be too light. Your feet would be bruised on the bottom because it's really rocky.
No.
But the Keens, man, they're great for like playing disc golf in like the water. But I have to tell you, when I went hiking for a long time, I was like, man, I wish I had something better.
Robert, thank you. Another comment on the shirt. It's from the podcast and the Netflix series Meat Eater, Steve Ranella's company, him and Cal and the Latvian Eagle, Giannis Patelis. But you can go to their website at Meat Eater, and that's where you can get this one.
I'm the Serbian Eagle.
Yeah. No, Rona's not keeping us from the disc golf. Nothing. I tell you what, and I'm trying to think of it. I think it's called, because I got some Chacos, those crazy sandals, right?
Uh-huh.
There's some other ones that I want to get, and I just forgot the name of them. Went completely blank. But, yeah. See, trail runners. I've got some trail runners. The Merrills. I've got some Merrill.
So I'm in the market to buy some new ones. I haven't been able to go to REI because they've been closed because of the corona.
Let me tell y'all.
But I don't know what people recommend. I'd have to go look at the reviews.
Hold on, I'm trying to find.
You're actually looking up shoes right now?
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you which ones that I want to get. Because I'm going to order the next ones. The Bedrock sandals. I'm going to order me some Bedrock sandals. Now, they're expensive, but I'm going to order me some Bedrock sandals. And if you haven't checked those out, because I like the Chacos, but they're a little bit thicker. The Bedrock sandals are almost like ultralights. Like, I mean, super ultralight.
You like Crocs?
Yes. I'm wearing Crocs right now. I'm wearing
yeah?
the slip-on. Yeah, these are the slip-on canvas ones. Now I got the camo ones too, but I also and they're okay. I also like the Tevo. Tevo makes some really ultra minimalist shoes that are like super flat and you can roll them up and stuff them and stuff. But the Bedrock sandals is something that I'm going to have to check out here.
Tevos is a fantastic brand, but for some reason it's like all the old dads used to wear those, like socks and Tevos. I
love them. No. You're thinking of a different one. I'm sorry. You're thinking of a different. I know what you're talking about, but it's not these. It's a different company. This company's from overseas, and they almost look like bowling shoes, but there's, well, like right here, like Scotty's talking, there's zero drop. They're like super flat. There's nothing to them. I like those.
I'm wearing just like reefs, just some flats right now.
You can't go wrong with those too. Those are always great.
They're comfy, especially this time of year.
Exotic Pets Lost in the Everglades Wilderness episode.
That would be awesome.
That's on Philly. We'll go ahead and stick him with that one. We'll let him look at Exotic Pets.
I think there's quite a bit. Like, it would be scary for people.
I concur.
Like, the sightings are probably only like 7% of what's actually released and living out there.
Well, I'll tell you a story. Like I said, I heard that they were spotting some sort of dolphins up near Beaumont as they're coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Up the rivers and coming up further into Texas now because of everything kind of calming down. So I would not, right here, Nile crocodiles in the Everglades.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised
100%.
at all.
No, they said they know that they're there.
Yeah.
They did like a python or anaconda roundup, and I think they captured like 100 in like a 2-day time period.
No.
So they're everywhere.
They are everywhere down there. First of all, Florida, there might as well be a checkpoint going into Florida. It's like another country down there.
But that's how you're right.
That place is wild.
That's how they got there, is because the people that live in Florida are wild. So they're like, dude, I know it's illegal to buy anaconda, but ain't nobody going to tell me what I can do.
Yeah.
Then the thing gets big, eats a cat, and you're like, I'm letting it go.
Happy birthday, Stephanie.
Happy birthday.
For ghosts in your areas. Yes, we actually can.
But they want us to film the exploration.
But film it.
Right, that's what we're
going
to try to do.
It's coming. We're working on all that stuff right now. It's coming. Here's a really cool thing. If y'all remember, we did a segment. I talked about the Baker Hotel over in Mineral Wells, Texas, and the Crazy Water Hotel. Well, the Baker's finally been purchased, and they've been working on remodeling it for a few months now. So they may end up turning this thing into something really, really nice finally, and I can't wait.
I drove by it yesterday, and they have signs on the outside that said it's going to be open by 2022.
Awesome.
We went down and got some barbecue at Natty Flat.
Oh, word. That's good stuff.
It's pretty good.
It's good stuff, yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to definitely go check it out. Once it opens up, we should go check that place out. But, yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming up as far as, like, in the woods, in the field, that we want to go inspect. And not just that, like, not just around here close, but, like, we want to go off and check some stuff out. You know, like we said, is I hope to get to go hang out with Derek and Dave whenever they're out there doing the Borrego stuff. We can go out there and see those guys.
That's crazy. How long you been alive for? Live for. We started at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock
So
Central.
we're coming up on 2 hours?
Almost 2 hours. We got 9 minutes till we punch the button to where I stop, if I can find it, where to stop
thanks,
live
Chips
streaming.
the dog. I'm glad that you appreciate the work we do. We like doing it.
Hey, thanks. Yes.
We couldn't do it without fans, and we couldn't do it without listeners and people like y'all.
We love it that y'all are just tuned in and having fun with us and asking questions.
Yeah.
And y'all always bring up the best stuff. And like I said, I have to write down some things because I forgot it from the last one. Y'all bring up so much stuff, and I got to go back through the comments, and I got to write all this stuff down because I should be doing it now, but I'm an idiot. So, which y'all already know. I'm looking around like I should have my paper.
Hey, Cal from the UK. What's up, man?
I don't.
Let's see. Where do you guys find interesting cryptids or ghost stories? Man, that's a good question.
All over?
All
Books,
over.
Internet?
I would say
word
books
of
would be
mouth?
the most.
Yeah.
So, when we first started doing the podcast, we reached out to several publishers, and we were able to work a deal out where they would send us books. And, of course, we know books on the stuff we're interested in. So we started getting books, and so our library started expanding. We started getting bookcase after bookcase. And then, of course, we would also buy books on Amazon. See, and that's the thing. When people buy, when you sign up for Elite, you're not just giving us money. You're actually helping the show. So the money that we generate from Elite, we use that to buy books, magazines. Like, I remember we used to buy Ancient American magazine a lot. We use that to buy material, and then we use that source material to tell new stories. Other places, a lot is listener emails.
Yeah,
we get tons of emails of people in their sightings. Phantoms and Monsters, of course. Our buddy Lon Strickler over there, he always has really good sightings.
Yep.
But his is mostly cryptids, right? So you have to go other places for other things.
Yeah.
So lots of different places, but I would say the number one place is books. And every week, Amazon delivers 15 books.
Yeah.
And we just, start pouring through them.
And it's just reading and reading and
sometimes
reading. We've had to taper it down because it overwhelmed us to where, like, literally, you read all the time.
Well, lots of times.
And I'm not hating, but it's just what you do.
Right. You put a book on a shelf and then you return.
Yeah.
I go into the library at the office all the time, and we'll see a book that we bought or ordered that I totally forgot we ordered. I'll be like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. And like when I'm literally thinking of what am I going to talk about this week, lots of times I'll just go in there and look at the bookcase. Be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Start pouring through that.
Talk to Suffer. Yes, we have covered that. We've talked about that before. Julie, good morning. She's down there in Australia, just getting up.
Good morning.
Daniel, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Kalsterman. Yes, send that stuff in. Nathan, let's see. Did the Glimmer Man stories only start surfacing after the release of Predator? Well, here's the funny thing. People didn't start talking about it until quite a bit of time after that, but we found stories and accounts that took place and sightings that took place prior to the movie being made. So that's what Kyle had pointed out is maybe the director or the screenplay writer or whatever it was
whoever wrote the story
heard this and started making something from it.
Yeah, very interesting. But yes, there are accounts of it happening before the movie.
With all your actually, Fucci, yes, that's another thing that's kind of on the sneak tip is we are actually in the works with a couple of books right now to get at so we can pump out to y'all. Yeah, there's all kinds of
If we didn't have full-time jobs, we would have more time.
It's just stuff. And I had told my wife this today, as I said, I'm afraid if I didn't have anything to do, I would be very, very bored because we've been this busy our whole lives. If it wasn't work, it was always crazy hobbies of us going and doing stuff. So I could, I would still be doing something along these lines.
Crazy. Like, I'm not the type of person you're going to see laying on a couch on a Saturday watching TV.
No.
Like, I got to do something. I'll swim with Luke. Yeah. Like today, wash the cars. I'll go shoot my bow. I'll get tired, put it down, go do something else. 2 hours later, I'll go pick the bow up again, shoot another 30 arrows. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Cooking. I love to cook. So, like, I'm always using my it's not a Traeger, it's a Green Mountain.
The Green Mountain Grill, yeah.
My pellet grill. I like playing with that thing.
I'm going to probably be shooting this afternoon, but I got some other stuff around here that I got to get done before I get to go real wild and crazy. But yeah, it's always. But y'all, I mean, all of y'all out there right now, y'all send us such good stuff. I mean, like, it is crazy. Awesome. It's crazy. Thank you so much, Talk to Suffer. Thank you. Yeah, we get those messages and stuff all the time where people tell us, hey, you got me through this. You helped me get me through work. Or like we got one a minute ago, a guy said like he has like a 10-hour drive. I guess he's a trucker. And they have these drives where people like, look, I had some dark times. And you don't even understand what that means to us. I mean, look, it blows us away because that's something we never even thought of. So when y'all start talking about it, it really does. I mean, it hits home for that whole deal. So.
Treehouse Cannabis, you said that you don't have a credit card, but you'd like to support the show. That's absolutely understandable. Fine, if you want to support the show, go to iTunes, write us a nice review. That helps the show. That doesn't cost anything.
Yeah. Like and subscribe, like some videos, write a review. Yeah.
Oh, got to run for D&D.
I'm down.
Oh, got to run D&D for you guys. Man, we want to do that. It would be cool. Very, very
for
cool.
Sure. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that for sure.
What's going on?
Definitely. So what else have we covered that we got when we got to talk to? Let's see. Man, oh man, I'm trying to think of what we got coming up. I'm hoping that when this stuff finally lifts that you and I get to go hang out. We've been talking about going and visiting Randall Carlson. I would like to go up there and go see the Georgia Guidestones, go into all that stuff. And yeah, I would really like to go do all that.
Does he still teach those courses on like sacred geometry?
Yeah, I think so.
I remember he used to do that.
I would be down.
I remember looking into it years ago.
Yeah. I want to do it just because you get those cool, like the, you know what
compass?
Yeah, where you can, and he's got like the big ones.
Yeah.
Like the wood ones where they put like the giant, like the Big Chief pencils on, where you can make all kinds of cool stuff.
Is it a compass or a protractor?
I think that's a compass.
Yeah, I think the protractor is like the half circle.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
What class do you, dude? I haven't played in so long. I have one made up, but I'm gonna have to go back and look. So I'd be talking out of my ass if I told you.
I was a wood elf, I think.
There you go. I should probably be a dwarf. I look like Gimli. I'm built like Gimli. That's probably what I should probably go as. Something along those lines. Something that just doesn't move fast, carries a lot of heavy crap. That'd be about me.
Yeah, it's been a good 25 years since I've played.
We got all the stuff. We're ready to rock and roll. We just have to. Do you guys follow Daryl Sims, the Alien Hunter?
I don't know who that is.
Is that a movie?
No,
That's a dude? The Alien Hunter, Daryl Sims.
Why is that? I don't know the name Daryl Sims doesn't sound familiar, but the Alien Hunter sounds familiar.
Probably because you've seen them. I come in peace.
Like the critters. Those guys fighting the Krites.
Yeah. Jacksonville, Florida. See, you down there where they go wild.
How hard would it be to get an interview with Bob Lazar?
Impossible.
Impossible. When he came on Joe's show, that's like the first time he's spoken
publicly like
since
that.
the 80s. Yeah.
It's never going to happen.
So he's not interested in the money, so you can't even bribe him with money. He's a well-to-do scientist on his own.
But also, it doesn't help him at all. You know, like he's talked about, he said he wished he had never done it. Like if he could do it all over again, he wouldn't say anything about it. So he
popped up, talked about it again, which was awesome, and then disappeared. I would love to talk to him, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see.
The closest to the alien truth.
I don't know who that is.
D&D Dunkin' Donuts.
We have Dunkin' Donuts here, but even though I'm not a big Dunkin' Donuts fan.
No.
I like Krispy Kreme better. And Voodoo Donuts.
Voodoo. Yeah. What D&D? I thought they were talking about Dunkin'. That's so great. Stan Roman. I'm not even going to touch the whole thing with Stan. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got a questionable background and even criminal background, right?
Yeah, there was some stuff. And, of course, that's been tossed around, too. Was it planted? Was it not? I don't know, but, yeah. That freaked me out. So, because in actuality, I have emails from Stan's wife where I was going back and forth with her to get Stan on the show literally like a couple of months before all that went down.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You don't need to interview Dr. Greer. Yeah, that's sadly that kind of...
I would still like to talk to Stephen Greer.
Yeah. He's
produced some pretty interesting documentaries. I find it strange that you have to pay money to like go out to the beach and then if he teaches you how to meditate or concentrate, then you can see UFOs.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like, well, I could hire somebody to go way offshore with some light effects and then have people pay money.
Look at that UFO.
But you know what I'm saying? Because I think they pay him money to do it. He's not doing it for free.
Yeah.
So, like, if you just knew how to manifest UFOs, why wouldn't you do it for free?
I'm with you.
But you're charging money, so to me, that makes it a little suspect. I know for a fact that little alien body that they found.
What is that, the Atacama?
Yeah, the Atacama baby. He did a whole documentary on that, and then it turns out, like, that was just, like, what? A fetus. A fossilized, aborted fetus.
I believe so. Something along those lines.
Unfortunately, because, I mean, if it was a real alien, dude, I would think that was awesome.
Yeah.
We've actually held the Star Child skull. Remember Chase Kutsky invited us?
Yep, we got to go up there. Dude, that was
wild.
That's
on our Instagram page,
Yeah, that was still wild. Yeah, there's pictures of it on Instagram and pictures of it on Facebook. That was crazy. That whole day blew me away, that whole thing. All right. Summary of his interview. I got you.
Any quick ones before we're out of here? It's time to end the show.
Go.
So just a few more seconds. We're going to be doing it again next month. Every month we're going to do it.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Big shout outs to Zoe.
Yeah. I hope she's still there watching. Probably not. It's understandable. I wouldn't watch us either, so it's no harm, no foul. So thank you to everybody that jumped on, everybody that comes on and comments, and everybody that gets it. Thanks for everybody throwing me the 2 thumbs down on the live stream. We appreciate it. Whoever got their feelings hurt, sorry about it. Just the way it is.
We got thumbs downs?
Yeah, we got some thumbs down.
Oh, okay.
It always happens.
Oh, well.
There's somebody out there that's always watching, and the minute I post a video, thumbs down. They'd like to make sure that I know
that they don't
where they stand and that they hate me. And I'm okay with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
If a stranger hates me, I'm okay with it.
Most people hate him.
Most people hate it. It's fine. It's one of those deals. It's very, very fine. So, We appreciate it so much, and we're going to have to go back through here, like I said, and write down all the stuff that y'all have told us to look at. One of you had brought up the missing Japanese flight, and I had forgot to write it down, so I will definitely have to go back and write all that stuff down. But we thoroughly appreciate it so much that all of y'all came here.
Absolutely.
And tuned in. And like I said, we're going to be doing videos of us in the field, doing some more stuff coming up. We'll be still live streaming once a month for the wrap up like this, answering questions, all that. So thank y'all so very much. And we are going to go ahead and get out of here. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend, start of your weekend, whatever you're doing. Be safe. Everybody try to stay healthy. Let's what do they flatten the curve? Let's just, whatever it is, let's all just be really mindful, and let's try to take care and get everybody through this so we can jump back on the other side and keep having fun.
Sounds good.
All right. Folks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank y'all so much. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for the sweet words and all this stuff. Y'all take care. We will see you next time. Here we go.
Check my phone. I can hear it going off over here.
I can't stop it. I can't stop the feeling.